Ciao, everybody, and welcome to the JuveCorner Cast Podcast Edition, everybody. And what a full house we got here, guys. We got Trim from the AJC with us today. We got Reno and Severino here, guys. And what a pleasure it is to have you guys. Really, what a pleasure.
Thank you for having us, man.
Yeah, no
Pleasure
problem,
always.
man. No problem, man. And we got Tony Trim. He's here, guys. He's finally here on the channel. You know, we've been waiting for this, guys, and he's here. So, Trim, what's going on? Tell the chat what's up.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me as always. Big fan of the channel, and you're doing some good work, man. So keep it up. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. And yeah, not much. Just enjoying a nice little Napoli loss today. Just enjoying that a bit. You know, not too much, right? Because we're Juventini, we keep it classy over here, right? We don't like to turn the screws a little bit to these guys. So we'll talk about our club. But no, it's a pleasure. Like I said, pleasure to be here, and look forward to the discussion at hand today.
Yeah, and we got Reno and Severino. Let's start with Reno. Reno, what's going on? Finally back.
Nothing much. Yeah, finally back after a long time. Well, you came to my channel 2 weeks ago, but it's a pleasure to be here, especially with my fellow paisans here, Tony and Severino, which you guys supposed to be coming on my channel. But I don't think this Monday, maybe Friday, we'll figure it out, because I'm doing it tonight. So how many times we're going to see each other, right? But thank you so much. You've done a wonderful job, Joe. So it's always a pleasure to talk about Juventus, which I got lots to talk about. So can't wait to get the discussion in hand. So let's rock and roll.
Yeah, and Severino, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? I don't know where you're coming from, but I've never met these two guys before in my life. So I don't know. Like, I have no idea what you just said, but Reno, it's nice to meet you. Piacere. Mi chiamo Severino.
Yeah, well, come on.
Trim, you look like a nice guy. What's up?
Sometimes.
You got a dope Coop Miners jersey in the back there. It's all good.
Yep.
But
That's
it's nice. It's nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, sure. Nice to meet you. We've known each other for a long time. Come on, da paesano. Fa la pochi seri.
No. All jokes aside, Gio, thanks for having us, and I look forward to the annoying discussion that we're gonna have tonight. But yeah,
100%. And you know, let's also start off, you know, with us saying hello to some people in the chat. You know, we got JV, new guy on the channel. Hey, make sure to subscribe, and also, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. You know, and follow the All Juve Cast, and also follow Reno's channel, guys, because these guys have been helping me out, you know, throughout my whole journey on you know, this channel, and we're gonna keep on growing together as a team, because we are Juventus, and you know, we are going to be growing as a family. So yeah, so thank you, man, and you know, keep tuning in for sure. And we also got Anthony Lafleur, my guy.
Anthony, what's up?
The famous Milanista that we have around.
Yep. Here we go. We also got Neptune here as well. Says, yo, let's talk business as well. We got yes, Sergio. We also got Juve is 6th. Yes. We know we will get into the Juve stuff. Don't worry, we have lots and lots to say. Keep up the good work. Yes, thank you. Oh, this is a good one. That we need to sack our manager. The results aren't good. Hey, 0 losses. Hey. Calma.
Calma.
Who are we gonna replace him with, Mr. Ten Hag? Like, who are we gonna get? I really
At
don't
this
know.
moment, who are we gonna get?
Reno.
You gotta give this guy a chance.
Reno.
Oh, me.
Reno's gonna go coach the team.
Grande Galletto Rosso Nero. Grande.
We also got Pino. Ciao, my friend. What's going on?
Oh, Pino. Grande Pino.
We got also Anthony as well. It says Ciao Galletto. Looks like
he's a Milanista.
Yep, with another Chelsea player in Carney Chukmeka. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. We also got Mirko as well here as well. What's up? What's going on?
Oh, he's a Juventino. He's from he's from Florida.
Oh, he's from Florida. Hey, Mirko, you gotta hit me up, man. You gotta hit me up, man.
Yeah, Mirko. Joe lives in Florida. He's from New York, but he lives in Florida. A chat on Instagram.
Yeah, also Javi also says, my friend Neil recommended you. I'm actually a Liverpool fan. Wow. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Liverpool fan. Hey.
Now you made a friend for life in Severino.
Let's
Yeah, there you
go.
go. There you go. We also got a Pino that says Mancini over here. Wow.
No
And,
way. No
No.
way. No.
I
Either
don't know about
Klopp
that.
or Gasperini. That's it in the future.
Mm. Hey, I mean, we also got when we messed up the game, minute 1 and 19-second when Fajoli didn't pass the ball and just tried to take a shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, oh, Fajoli. And let's get
Can I-
into it, guys.
Yeah, can I
Let's get
say
into
something about that? I actually liked that he did that. It was
That he
actually
Really?
it was the first breakaway we had. It was the first like attempt we had. I thought that it was almost like to send a signal. Just
Wow.
to send a little sign to the opposition to be like, okay, we're gonna, bro. I've been wanting our midfielders to take for it's almost 3 years now, and we don't get that ever. All we do is depend on our flanks. I like that Fajoli took that shot. I mean, obviously it got deflected or whatever, but I liked it. I like a little aggressiveness. Loca never does it. Locatelli never does
Loca
that.
is Loca.
Yeah, no,
He's
and Trim. Yeah. What do you think, Trim, actually, about that as well? I mean,
Yeah, like obviously we would like for our midfielders to be taking more chances. There's been quite a few points and different times in the games when I've noticed, like even just guys like Coop in particular, like we'll talk about him more, obviously getting the first goal, kind of getting the monkey off his back. It's nice to finally get him one to feeling good, but I feel like there's a lot of hesitation with him when he gets the ball, and a lot of the mids at the top of the box, like plenty of opportunities to take shots and go for goal, but they seem to be a little bit hesitant. I almost feel like they're trying to make like too cute plays, like short passes, like 1-2 touches, and trying to find the perfect pass. And it's like oftentimes they're giving you space because the teams are sitting back. They know the game plan. They just want to kind of like walk it into the box and then fire it across and get bodies in there, right? But yeah, in that particular case, I would say I don't think the game was really won or lost on that play per se, or like that it
No.
changed. But however, I would say the one where he had the sitter in front and he just airmailed it way over the net, it's because he opened his foot too much when he took that shot. That's got to be on net, at least on net. And then we had one with Duchan later in the game on the one touch. That was a nice attempt, but right at the keeper, right? But again, it's hard to get those shots off, right? So, but we'll get into it more for sure. That play I wasn't too worried about though.
Yeah, no, and Reno, what else do you think about the Fajoli, especially with not just that, but the game itself, especially now that we're also gonna, this is just another question as well, but just tell me what you think.
Guys, to be honest with you, I haven't really watched the game, just the highlights. If you have to tell me about this Fajol, I didn't even notice. All I see that he hasn't been playing well, even with this game, which was a big mistake from Mota to put Fajol, especially with Locatelli. Okay, che crema, you know what I mean? But the game itself, I don't know. I don't really know because having Mota getting frustrated, he had the red card. Falli could minor score. But come on, we were losing 2-0. We cannot, do 2 goals in order to concede 2 goals. And Bologna were all over us, guys. Like, this is not pretty, I'm not really happy that this game. I let it out yesterday, like, basta, enough with this porqueria. Like, this is Juventus, man. Like, seeing these guys play like this, there's no green that we're losing our DNA, Juventus. Like, let's be real, man. Like, Italiano outplay Mota. Ma che vogliamo scherzare? Like, just to think about the game. Luckily, I watched the highlights. That's what I need. But then talking through my chat, with Trimboli, the boys like Giuseppe, Santino, insomma, I can only imagine how the game went while watching it. I think that I went to work. I got the job at 8:54. I had to go to work. The game was at 9. That means Gesù Cristo sta dicendo vai a lavorare. Thank God.
Yeah,
So
you were
think
better
about
off.
work. I don't have to.
You're better off
making money. Not smashing the TV. So
yeah, and we also got another question as well from Javi20. It says Bologna is a good team, but if Juve can't beat them, then what makes you think you guys can win Serie A?
I can
forget
answer
the
this.
Champions League too.
I can answer
you-
this real
Trim,
sweet,
you wanna hit that or
real
I'll hit
short
that?
and sweet. We
Trim
are what? Let's do some quick math. Not my strong suit. We're 7 points back right now. 7 points is 2 games. 2 games is not a lot to make up, especially after that Napoli result. And I'm going based off of Atalanta's 34 points right now. So I know
And
this gentleman mentioned
Inter and
yeah.
Fiorentina still have a game.
They're at 30. Napoli's
Yeah,
at
they have a game
33.
ahead. Yeah.
Napoli's at 32. Inter is at 31, and Fiorentina's at 31. So we're right there. And again, to be fair to this gentleman, I know he doesn't follow as much. I think he said he's a Liverpool fan, right? So, but just to kind of speed him up, like it's a lot closer than previous years, you could say, in terms of the amount of teams that are so tightly contested together.
Yeah.
So as a Juventus fan, that kind of gives you some hope. Now, I'd be bold-faced lying if I told you that from the beginning of the season I predicted us to win, because I didn't. I actually had Inter repeating because I felt they were the strongest team, because as they didn't really change much, right?
Yeah.
But as a Juventini supporter, Juventus supporter, the way that we're playing, we're going to get into it more obviously today. It's not great, but the fact that it's that close and they're still getting points. Yes, we were kind of talked about this in the green room. They're not picking up 3 points, but they're not going away with 0 points because we haven't lost yet. So we're collecting these little 1 points along the way. We are dropping 2 every other game or every game, but because it's so close for me, like there's still a chance mathematically. It's not like they're out of it yet. But again, they have to start putting some wins together. So.
Yeah, no, 100%. And definitely in Javi 20 also says, get Maldini as manager. No.
Yeah,
Please,
no.
please. Come on, guys.
No, I don't think that would happen.
Come on. And James is here.
Hey!
Welcome, my
Grande
friend.
James.
What's up, brother?
We also got Lamb Chop here. Welcome, Lamb Chop, again, because he's been actually your loyal Juventini in the chat. So perfect.
What's up, buddy?
And I think Giuseppe is also in here. He did say hello. I don't see his comment. I think it went away. But Giuseppe is also here from our chat, Reno. So
yeah.
hello to him as well.
Juve Canada.
Yep.
I think. Let me check on my end. If it shows.
Where is he? Where is where's my friend? Where's my friend Giuseppe?
Oh.
We also got Atalanta's here from Mirko. I don't know. It could be because they're coming off a Europa League win. You have to remember that they finally know what it tastes like to win. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do challenge for the Scudetto this season. But we all know how Atalanta's history in the Campionato is. They do good for like half a season, and then it's just They
It might be their year this year. I wouldn't be surprised because they've been pretty good. So if Atalanta wins instead of Inter Napoli, I'll be more than happy if Juventus doesn't have a shot. So
guys, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna tell you that Atalanta won't even finish in top 4.
No,
I don't see.
No,
they
see
will.
it.
Really?
See it.
No.
Sorry, I don't see it. They fade away every year. They fade away. They hit.
Yeah, but this is different though.
They hit this hot streak, and I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if I'm just like a glass half full type of guy, but I'm sorry. I still feel that we're in contention. I really do. So I'll say this, and Trim, you know this already. Reno, I've said this to you a million times.
Yeah.
I just think that we're in the beginning stages of the Motta system. And Motta hasn't had, and I'm not blaming injuries by any means. I'm not blaming it. But I just feel that once we get into a little bit of groove, we're not even halfway through the season. Like, it's not even halfway. I think we're going to be fine. I really do. Don't you guys like watching you? Like, as much as we are not creative in the final third, I'm just so happy to have possession 60, 70% of the time every game, except for this game, except for this game yesterday. And selfish plug, Trim, you'll get this. It was against Italiano.
Yeah.
Your favorite.
Where everybody knows I kind of want the Italiano, whatever. But guys, you all watched the game. Did you see what Italiano's team does? They push and push. Yes, are they weak on the back? 100%. That Duchan to Imbangula goal was 100%. You exposed their weakness. You exposed Italiano's weakness on that counterattack. But other than that, they swarm. Italiano system, they swarm the other team. They just constantly like on top of you where the team, like we didn't know what to do. We couldn't get the ball out of the back. We couldn't do it. And that's what I always liked about Italiano's teams. Now, do I like what Motta does where it's a high possession game? And Gio, I said this to you in one of our last lives. Motta's way of thinking is the best defense is if the team doesn't have the ball, they can't score. So we possess the ball. And that's a great way of thinking coming from Allegri, thank God. But when you come into encounter with a team like Bologna that has kind of almost the same way of thinking, we didn't know what to do yesterday. There were times when you guys watched the game, they looked like, holy shit, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like they kept playing it back. Kalulu would go back to Perin. Perin would go back to Kalulu. Kalulu would go to Gatti. Like, and they were like, where do we start? How do we start? How do we start? So when
Get cazzo fai, Nick. Get out of here, Nick. Sorry, Seb.
No. We like Nick. We like Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Oh yeah.
Nick,
we like him a lot.
hey, we got Nick Diani from the Kicks and Picks podcast.
Yeah.
I just want to shout
rompiculo.
Nick.
That's what we got.
Reno, he's happy today because Lazio beat Napoli.
Yeah,
of course. He's going to give us a hard time.
He liked my tweet, so, he liked my tweet what I said about Napoli, so he can stay today. Nick's good today.
Nick, you're good today, brother. You're good today.
Yeah, just for today.
But getting back to what you said, Sev, my biggest concern with Juve in terms of just overall play, and I know we talk about this on our side of things, right? It's possession is one thing, and it's great because, yes, you keep the ball. But the problem is that in the final third, they just, like you said, they look confused. They don't know what to do. And I can't tell you how many times I go to the fan club and I watch these games there, and we got some loud, vocal guys that watch these games. And one in particular, Mr. John Groh, selfish plug, he's president of the North American fan clubs, our fan club, he's the president. He yells and screams and he throws his hat, but he's yelling because he's saying, look at the spaces. And it's true. Yep. If you see those free frames that Alberto puts on our show all the time, our defender, let's say Kalulu in this case as the CB, has the ball behind our half and he's looking for options to pass to. Where are our guys? Our two holding midfielders, the double pivots, I don't even know where they are half the time. They're on the wings. There's a huge gap in the middle, and it's all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Bologna players. How do you expect to build out the back from that way, or how do you expect to move forward like that? Right? You have our number 10, which is supposed to be Coop. Half the time is playing on the wing or drifting out wide.
Oh, most of the time, not half the time. Most of the time, he's on the wing.
Yeah, and it's frustrating, right? So, like I said, I think for me, and it's kind of unpopular opinion, I've always said that I actually wouldn't mind seeing him maybe kind of switch up the formation in terms of getting out from a 4-2-3-1 and maybe just, I don't know, maybe a 4-3-2-1 or just something to change it up a little bit, make it more of a narrow system. I actually even wouldn't mind, but again, I know with our players right now, our current roster, we have a lot of injuries. I wouldn't mind seeing them maybe switching to like a 4-man midfield and 2 strikers up top, because I really feel Dusan is isolated up there and he could really benefit from another striker with him. But the problem is that we have a lot of wingers. So it's like,
well,
there's missing.
Can I counter him really quick? Not really counter, but I'm curious of if I ask you this. I'm so done with the 3-man back line.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to a 5-2, God forbid.
Mm-hmm.
But would you ever go with a 3 up front so we could do a straight
4-3-3? Yeah.
A straight 4-3-3 where where instead, especially, look, it's so crazy that our whole team is based around right now Cambiaso, where Cambiaso kind of is gonna explain how we do forward without him, because we don't really have a replacement. You're gonna go with Rui or Savona, Danilo, God forbid. Oh my God. So we don't really have fullbacks. Savona was good. Cabal was good. Cambiaso obviously is, in my opinion, our best player right now. So, like, now, if we're not going to have him for the next few weeks, let's just say, because everybody who goes to J Medical is, Berto said it, the Bermuda Triangle. So funny. They just go and like you never see them again. Like they're just gone.
Yeah.
But if that's going to be the case, then would you think about going with a 3-4-3?
No, I wouldn't do 3-4-3. I'd do a 4-3-3. But the thing is, then, for whatever reason, Mota loves 3 midfielders, but not in a 3-man system, if that makes sense. Like James put a 4-2-3-1.
Right.
For whatever reason, he likes 3 behind the striker. But if you play 4-3-3,
every time we try to do that,
it forces,
never worked out.
Yeah.
It will force Coop, and I guess in this case, one of Thuram and Fagioli out wide, and Loca would have to be the holding midfielder behind.
Loca will turn into a registra.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
right?
we don't want. We kind of want to get away with that.
But that's why.
So move away from that.
That's why it's almost like we're kind of forced into the current system that we play, and it's just more of like, pray to God that we make it through these games unscathed and get some bodies back. Sounds like we're going to get, hopefully, Louise, maybe McKennie for Wednesday's game, but I'm not sure 100% on that. We'll have to wait and see as time goes by closer to the game. But Louise practiced with the team today, which is great. At least he was integrated with the team. So, but again, it's not all doom and gloom, but there are there are concerns. I wouldn't say major concerns just yet, because again, until we lose,
I think it's good that we're getting City in their shit too. Like they're in their shit too, just like we are. So we're getting them at the right time. Thank the Lord. And do we need these 3 points to advance?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We do.
Oh, we do.
But I don't know if it's going to be easy with City.
Well, because if you get De Bruyne, I think he scored or he made a nice assist on the weekend against.
I'm not trying to be negative, because our luck with the Premier League teams, if you guys remember against Chelsea, it was bad. So I know we're playing in Torino, but
what do you mean
I
against
won't
Chelsea?
We beat Chelsea 1-0 the first time.
Well, 1-0, but at home we lost 4-0.
Reno, we beat Chelsea because there's a player. I don't know if you ever heard of him. His name was Federico.
Yes, Chiesa, but on the way back we lost 4-0. That was the worst in Juventus history, losing like that, if we remember. So with Man City, we got to be very calm.
Yeah, no, and
Mr. Bravo Miss, if he doesn't start scoring, how can we have hope? If he can beat Bologna.
Reno, come on. Vlahovic played a nice game yesterday. I'm sorry. That second half, he played nice.
No, he didn't.
Oh, come on.
No,
come on.
He didn't. He's a vagabondo. Get rid of this guy. Enough with this guy.
He played.
My Serbian buddies tell me he's shit. My Serbian buddies tell me. So enough with this guy. For me, un vagabondo. He's not Juventus related. I'm sorry, Seb, but I just can't help it. I defended him. Enough, it's enough.
The only good thing. Hold on. The only good thing is that he's playing his buddy Haaland. Remember, he made that comment about Haaland. The only thing he has is that he's faster than me. That's it. So let's see. Now they go head to head. It's it's gonna be a good one. So now it's I know you're very critical of him, Reno, and rightfully so. But like I always say, it's put up or shut up. You want to be considered one of the top dogs? Let's see. Let's see it Wednesday.
Yeah, and I have a question for actually all of you guys, and this is regarding Thiago Motta and his management of the games, and also I think his ability to identify where I think players are supposed to be, especially in the positions. For example, with the amount of injuries that we do have, why doesn't he put Yildiz as the 10 and put Coop a little bit more back? I think that with Coop on the ball more, you could actually
I don't
have
know.
more creativity in that midfield. And also with Yildiz, that I think he's a type of player. In my opinion, he's not really a winger. He's more of a natural number 10 because of the way that he dribbles. You know, he could create chances, and he's already shown it in the first 2 games of the season that he could do that. You know, and even in Coop's absence as well. And why not put Mbangula on the left? You know, I would like to see that as well because of the form that the kid are. I mean, he scored. You know, he scored, and that's what I really wanted to bring up. And also, Trim, I mean, what do you think? I mean, with the 4-2-3-1 formation, do you really see Coop Miners dropping back a little bit and maybe putting Yildiz in the 10? If I was Mota, I would do it.
Well, so it's funny because like I think you've definitely picked up on in previous shows on my end, like I've mentioned it and we've kind of said like that's literally the only thing that we haven't seen yet. And I think that's why at times we're critical of Mota, and to be fair, he's owned up to, his faults and saying that, I have to be better. I have to find the right mix. I have to put the players in their right positions, and he's owning up to it. So good on him. And yeah, that is literally the only subtle change that can be made. One of the easiest ones to make is literally drop Coop back, have him as a pivot with Loka. Yes, Thuram in this case and Fajoli have to be on the bench, but it is what it is. To me, I don't see anything wrong with that. And then have Yildiz in the 10 spot, especially after this last game, Gio, because you mentioned about the last game. I don't know about you guys, but I've been kind of saying this for a little while, and I never understood when Mbangula started the season against Como and Verona, and I said to myself, I'm like, why is this guy not getting a little bit more game action? I don't expect him to start every match, but even coming off the bench, like I've noticed he hasn't been putting him in, and I've always thought that was really strange. And go figure, he gets in there yesterday, and he's the one who gets the tying goal. So the guy already has 3-4 goals coming off the bench in limited action and limited minutes, where he only played the first 2 games I think he started, which, like I said, was Como and Verona. That's a long time ago. So when you have an option like that, you can either put him on with Chico on the other side, or put Way on the left and Chico on the right. Yildiz in the center. Hoop and Loka, the holding mids. Vlahovic up top. Try it out. It'll make it a little bit easier, I think, personally, when you have a couple of more extra bodies back, like a Louise and maybe even a Weston. When Weston comes back, like it'll help out in terms of like a little bit more rotation. But like I said, I've been kind of harping on it a bit, and I know Alberto's mentioned it as well on our show, and we've kind of just felt the same way. It's like that's the easiest little tweak that he has not made yet that I feel can really make a difference. How about you guys? What about you Sev, you Reno? What do you think?
I'm on the. I don't know if any of you noticed yesterday. Yildiz to me yesterday was a lot more up the middle, and I want to say it's only because it was a Loka Fajoli midfield when the game started. Because it was a Loka and Fajoli midfield, I feel like Yildiz was more up in the middle, and Coop was more playing the flanks, kind of like an everywhere kind of guy. Like you would see Coop Coop was actually everywhere yesterday.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like I'm watching the game and I'm like, oh, there he is again. There he is again. There he is again. Like, and he was right, left, midfield. He was coming back on the ball, even to the back line. Like he was all the way back sometimes. Yep. So I feel that happened only because it was Fajoli as opposed to Loka and Thuram.
Yes.
Right.
Once Thuram came into the game, obviously they took Fajoli out, but he's got so many options with this team. And I think this is what bothers us all as Juventini fans, is that I think once Luis comes back, that's what makes me not worry about the standings and everything, because I think we haven't seen this full squad yet. Luis has shown signs where he's so freaking good on the ball when he's in control. Where I think our problem in, like, let's say January, February is going to say, is it Luka Thuram or Luka Douglas? Because I think he's gonna come into his own thing. And Douglas is, if you guys ever watched Douglas in an Argentina game, he is so fucking good at control. He's like a Biblo, but but better like getting around guys. Like he's like a mix between Pogba and like Biblo, where he could control, he can get guys away, he could dribble his man on, and then just pinpoint a pass at 50 yards and nail Chico on the corner. Like he's just so good at that. But we just haven't seen it, right? So we're right away, oh, that's it. Douglas is shit. He's gone. He's finished. He's whatever.
A lot of people say that.
100%. And they say the same thing with Nico Gonzalez. We don't know what this team is yet.
I don't know Nico Gonzalez.
We've never played at full strength. I don't think Conceição, Nico, and Yildiz and Coop ever played together at the same time yet, right? I don't think they have.
No, they haven't. Nope.
You know, so everybody's like so quick to, oh, we spent 150, 160 million in the summer. Oh, and they haven't won. They tie all their games, and we don't know yet. We don't know. So let's everybody just relax.
Calm down, relax.
Calma. Everybody's already Mota out, and bro, for me,
trust me.
For me to still be saying, let Mota breathe, let him do his thing. I'm already happy with Mota, and I'll say this, Gio, I said this to you a million times. I like watching them now again. Because if they lose possession, they fight to get it back. They don't park the bus. They don't do any of the shit like that I hated under Allegri. I hated it.
They still do comparison, you know?
Oh my
with
God,
the Allegri last year and Mota. Like, come on, guys.
If they're going to compare,
much.
you compare with the 2 first seasons.
Yeah.
That's how you compare.
Yeah,
you
not the last season.
You know, you can't do that because Allegri had the 3 seasons already.
I used to say this to you all the time. I would say, I hope that Juve doesn't score early, because if they do, it's going to be, you can go to sleep. You can go to sleep. If Juve scores early under Allegri, that's it. It's a boring ass nothing game. Like, it's just going to be like whatever. Now, I like watching the games. I really do. I enjoy them. I have a problem with their creativity in the final third, where they just keep popping it to Chico out all the time. They just pop it to him, which is the same thing they did to Chiesa, by the way. They just kept popping him and make him create something out of nothing.
Because Conceição is the one that created, and he's the one that has.
He's our only.
Now, I know what you mean. A lot of people have been telling me on my end the final third, like as you just said.
Right, but Reno, if you think about it, that goes to Trim's point, where if Chico is the only one who's going to create on the right side,
who's the other one?
Okay, on the left side is the issue, because if Yildiz was in the middle, if Yildiz can play in the middle,
as a number 10,
somebody we need as a number 10, and Coop should be like a Chanaloglu is for Inter.
Yes,
that's what Coop should be.
Yeah, and
then on the left, we don't have that guy, and I'm sorry, I know you guys like him. Weah is not that guy.
Okay,
so if it's
me, it's 50-57. I never said that I like him or hate him.
I don't like Weah. I was okay with Nico, but Nico's never there. So
well, man, Bangula, put in instead of Weah.
Oh, I don't mind Bangula.
Put these young kids. Player. That's the problem. What Mota did yesterday. He did the rotation, yes, but put Thuram, put Yildiz in the right position. Come minors, Kia, Membangula. Like, we have the talent. We gotta produce.
So one thing I just wanted to quickly bring up, because I was curious, Sev, about Luis when he comes back. I know he's mostly played in that pivot role, but I personally actually think I could see him as a rotational piece in the 10 spot. So Yildiz can be our 10 starter, and
he's good enough on the ball to do that.
Yeah, like I think
he's so good on the ball.
I think personally the natural switch of Coop dropping back and putting Luis up as the 10, but not as a starter because he has to work his way back in.
Yeah.
I think he could be the natural sub to Yildiz. And if he's up there as a 10 coming off the bench, that's where you're going to get the best out of Luis, because you just said it and hit the nail on the head. Like, his best attribute is passing, and his best attribute is like finding the open man. We're lacking, in a sense, someone that can unlock Dusan and get him the ball. Yeah. If that's his job, to play behind Dusan and just literally get him the ball in the penalty box, like in the box, and get him to score,
6-yard box, yeah,
I would try it. Like, I mean, again, this would take him away from standing in front of the net and causing a couple of PKs and sticking his arm out. You know, he wouldn't be so far back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Little tongue-in-cheek comment there, right? But no, in all seriousness, like, I think naturally for me, like, I'd like to see him playing higher up. And I think we were going to start to see that, but unfortunately he got hurt. Like, he could just come back, and then he just picked up that muscle injury, and we haven't seen him since, right? But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I was thinking about that as well.
Bro, this is an everyday from Brazil. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think that our idea of him is media driven, where they're gonna say, why? Because we spent 50 or 60 million on him. They're gonna say, he's a bust, or he's this, or he wants to leave.
A lot of people saying that with Coop Miners,
right, like,
he's a flop.
Yes,
like, come on.
Hear all this.
Really?
Stuff. You're gonna hear the media in Italy is worse than. It's a joke.
Or even here, through my subscribers, I hear that. You know?
Yeah, I don't.
It's too much.
Oh, Tony's in here. What's up?
Yeah, Tony Roast Beef. Finally. So, I don't know. I
don't believe that. I think that we have, if we're all healthy, the depth that Juntoli built, we haven't seen it yet. Like, I want Mota to have problems in the sense of, oh my God, I have so many like great players. I don't know who to start. And we haven't had that because Nico Gonzalez has been hurt. Douglas Luiz has been hurt. Chico at some point was hurt. Vlahovic has been hurt.
Yeah.
Coop was hurt. Like, everybody at one point or another has been hurt, where we don't even know what this team is yet.
Yeah.
So it's very tough to. And Milik is a big one too. Milik is a big one.
Milik, yes. Because to say my 2 cents, you know, because we got all these injuries, it's pathetic. You know, they got to do something with the J Medical. And I've been here, I even CRB Combs is going back and forth, whoever's saying, comparing Allegri to Mota as a fool. I've been here since yesterday, the Mota out. I was pissed off too, yes. We have to put the blame on Mota on his formation yesterday. But you got to understand, it's his first time in a big club like Juventus. There's a lot of pressure on him, and we have to give him time. I'm giving 2-3 years to the Mota. If people already say, get rid of him, this and that, we're never going to win anything. At least that's what Zidane wants to spend big money at Klopp or Zidane, 500, 600 million on players. That's a different story, which that won't happen for a long time. So we just got to be patient. I know it's getting frustrating because 10, 11 ties, all these players getting injured. We got Coop Miners. I keep on telling people, give him time, because usually under Gasperini, the players under Gasperini, it's hard to gel. And then he got his ribs. Yesterday, that goal, that was beautiful. Hopefully they see more than that. But we need to, calm at the same time, as Severino said, and basta con le stronzate. Allegri in, I'm out, basta. Let's be patient and let's kick some ass. Casa tutti.
Who wrote Locatelli is a cheesehead? Who wrote
James
Are you out of your fucking mind?
That's surprising.
Someone wrote it earlier, and then he just responded. But
this one, Grey Goose. Yeah.
One quick thing though, I just wanted to bring up.
I used to like you, James, but now I don't like you. Are you kidding me? Locatelli.
James doesn't like Chiesa that much. I'm just telling you, Seb.
Yeah.
But no, one thing I just wanted to bring up also, and I forgot to mention this the last time I was on our side, but
Mhm.
another thing that people forget, in the summertime we were doing a lot of mercato shows, and I remember specifically Motta apparently was saying that he doesn't want a big roster. He wanted somewhere between 22 and 23 players. And he said because he didn't
Good
want
point.
to do too much rotation. But see, this is what I don't understand by that comment, because if that's in fact true, he just basically is in a way screwing himself per se, because it's almost like he told Juntali, I don't need more players, and look at our situation now. So this is where, fast forward to today, I was thinking about that last week, and I was thinking to myself, if that's in fact true, it doesn't make any sense, because last year at Bologna, we talked about how many times he would change his formation. He had 2-3 formations going throughout the season, and he was rotating players with one competition. Now you're coming to Juventus, a bigger club with more money that can get you the players and 3 competitions. And for some reason, it was rumored that he only wanted a 22 or a 23 man roster. To me, it's strange. I don't know if that's true. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. Like, because to me, it just kind of doesn't add up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I mean, if we talk about not even just that, Trim, but like I think just with everything, it's just like we need to do something. We need to do something about it, and we're not really seeing anything, and with the lack of depth with this team, especially with the injuries, we need to
Well,
do
the thing
something.
is, we had this problem for years. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
Now
No,
that we're playing a lot of games, but it's been 5, 6 years with the Ramsey, Paredes, Pogba, Madonna mia.
yeah,
Way too
no,
much. Chiesa.
yeah. No, I agree, and like I said, it's been happening for years, but this is supposed to be the season where we're like, okay, now it's time to start new, start with a brand new idea, start fresh, and let's build on that. Remember, we are still in the building stage of building this big project that we're all talking about. I'm always hearing project this, project that. Yes, yes. And I see that we have a clear project and identity in the team, with the minds of Juntoli and Thiago Motta. I think that we could definitely see a big, big future ahead of us. And like I said, it's going to take time. We're having growing pains, right? We're having growing pains. That's what it is. The chemistry, like I said, without the certain players on the team, there's no chemistry. And that's the biggest thing. And that's when I think that if we really say that where we're going to really for this season, hey, it may not be the Scudetto, but if we can at least make it to top 4 and win a Coppa Italia or something at least in the hand under the first year on the Motta, I'll be happy. I'll be happy.
Well, to piggyback off of you, Gio, I think we can all agree that a bunch of times they're a lot different to watch from Allegri last year.
Yes.
So we've already made a little bit of a jump. We're possessing a lot more. I think that's already a jump from last year, where we're not parking the bus. Like I said earlier, I said, oh, if you've ever scored early under Allegri, it was like, that's it. You can go to sleep. You can go take the kids to school. You could go to work, and that's it. It's the game. 1-0, Corto Muso, that's it. That was the game.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. This is a different Juve when we watch, right?
Yep.
The only thing that scares me is Shakhtar and Bologna. These 2 games scared the shit out of me, because
Yeah.
I didn't know that 2 teams like that can take it to us, where they just drilled it down our throats. Like they were boom.
Once they go counterattack,
boom.
yeah,
Right.
we're
Like
finito.
they were just, and we played Milan already this year. We played Napoli this year. We played
Inter.
we played Inter this year, and nobody brought it to us like Shakhtar and like Bologna. We didn't know what the hell to do.
No.
And that's what scares me. That's what scared me. Meanwhile, we play PSV and what was the other Champions League game? The Leipzig game. Oh my God. How do you play a game like the Leipzig game, which was probably one of the best Champions League game I've ever seen in my life as a Juventus?
Yeah.
How do you play that game and then to Bologna or to Lecce last week? Like, I'm like, what the f- is going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Where is
No.
that team? Where is that team?
Yep. Yeah.
It's
No.
Roma just beat Lecce 4-1. Like, come on.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Roma beat Lecce.
Inter
4-1.
met that 3-1 with Parma. And we couldn't even beat Parma. Like, kick us.
Hey, but Parma, they beat Milan. They were doing very well, and they
I know,
weren't-
but just to say, but the Cartonati 3-1.
You can't
It's sad to
count
say,
Milan.
but
Milan to me this year is an enigma. We can get into like the rest of Serie A. Milan to me this year, I can't. They're an enigma. I don't know what the hell to. They beat Real Madrid and then they can't beat fucking like Cagliari. Like I don't get them. Like they're a very weird team. I can't gauge them. Meanwhile, they have a ton of depth. Milan has so many great players. You don't even realize it. And
yeah, they do.
and you don't even. They beat Real Madrid easy. Like it was nothing. In Champions League. In Champions League, 3-1, I think it was, right? 3-1.
Yep.
Yeah.
3-1.
Yeah.
Which was it was crazy.
Yeah, 3-1.
I didn't watch the game. I watched like highlights of it, and then I was like,
Yeah.
picking up my kid at school, and I was like, wait. Milan beat Real Madrid 3-1, and I'm like trying to like look at the highlights, and I was like, what the hell? But they
Yeah, they play good.
But they can't beat Cagliari, or they can't beat like it's just. Fonseca is an enigma to me. Like he's very weird. I still feel that Conte should have went to Milan.
Maybe. I think he would done good.
Yeah, I
So
still feel
Napoli, it's like watching Allegri Conte now.
Yeah,
With Napoli. But because of the players.
Gio, not to control the show, but let's get into the Napoli game today. Let's.
Oh yeah. Since he brought it up, let's get into the little bit of the Napoli game. And then from the Napoli game, we're gonna get into the Mercato, what we need to do in the Mercato, because there's a lot of rumors that I have here of what in the Mercato, and then we're gonna get into the Champions League, and then we'll see what else we have that we missed. We'll talk about like Atalanta, Lazio, all the other guys. So let's start with Napoli. Trim, start it off.
Oh, today was beautiful. Oh, speaking of that game, though, this is the best part to Sev's point and Reno's point.
Yeah.
I'm watching the game. I'm having lunch with my in-laws, and my father-in-law's asking me a little bit about, Juve's in 6. What's going on? And he doesn't follow too much. So, I'm filling him in. And I'm watching, and I go, what am I watching? First of all, I couldn't see who's wearing what shirt. Lazio's in black today, so I was getting confused.
Yeah.
And okay, you see the odd time Napoli's coming down, but that was to me that was a boring game, man. I don't know, just to
me, but that's I can't watch horrible.
And I laughed because to your point, that was us last year and under the previous manager, because
Portomuso.
Again, we're not getting 3 points every match, but I would much rather watch us this year, and that's why I think for me. My mind, I'm content. Like, sure, there's been some frustrating results here and there, but as a whole, for Juve this year with Motta, it's watchable. We have the ball. Yeah, you get frustrated; they can't build up whatever. But compared to watching something like that, it's just, I don't know. It's not the type of match, not the type of game that I like to see. But
plus, obviously, downpouring.
That's why I don't watch Napoli that much. I was
just,
very disappointed in Conte. As much I like Conte as his personality, like I didn't want him back, but it's hard to watch Napoli, and they have one competition. So,
well,
and
that's a good point, Reno.
Lukaku, no bueno. Seriously, Lukaku. Someone said if Lukaku still plays, Napoli will make top 4, but we'll see. I don't know.
Go ahead, Gio, go ahead.
No, I mean, like with the Napoli, everybody was saying Conte this, Conte is gonna refigure Napoli, but I said, I think we should wait on that because you have to remember, Napoli's only playing one game. I understand that, but you have to
remember, they've been winning a culo. These last 2 games are culo, man.
They've been winning like with a little struggle with them, and you could see that in each game. It reminds me of last season us. It reminds me how we were doing well in the first half of the season, and then
it was a culo di Allegri.
That's it. That's it. You know,
Yeah.
remember we all remember that game with Milik, the red card against I think it was
Oh
Empoli.
my God.
And
Empoli.
that whole
Yes.
thing,
Oh,
that
Hey,
those-
I'll never forget that game. It was my freaking birthday, and I was at the fan club watching the game. And when I saw that, I'm like, I'm leaving. I gotta leave.
oh
I gotta
my
get out of
gosh.
here. I gotta
Oh
leave
my
now.
god.
That started our demise. I said I ruined the whole season. It was my birthday. They couldn't even get a win. And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't forget that. I won't forget that
Oh,
game.
man.
That's for sure.
Yeah, no, because like that, like I said, all it takes is Napoli to just lose and get that losing feeling, and they're starting to lose now, especially losing to Lazio twice. You know, in
Well,
in 1 week, 4 days. So
Right.
I'll tell you guys a
Yeah.
funny story. So one of my best friends is a like big Napoli fan, and when they got Conte this year in the summer, he goes, "Bro, is this a good thing or like?" And I'm more into soccer than he is. So I said, "Bro, it's a good thing for you guys that you guys got him. Like it's good for you. Like he's gonna be he's the type of guy that he wins where he goes, especially in the scenario that you guys are in." And you're in a good scenario. You don't have Champions League. You don't have Coppa Italia. You don't have to worry. Well, they had Coppa Italia, but you know what I mean? Like they have one thing to focus on, the Scudetto, and that's it. I said, that's where Conte strives. That's where he's the strong suit. And he was like, oh, but he was your coach. And he coached Inter and he coached Chelsea and he got them all championships. And I was like, but I said, this is where Conte strives. And when they took that L on, what was it, Wednesday or Tuesday, where in the Coppa Italia game, he didn't start one fucking player in that Coppa Italia game. That's Conte. That's Antonio Conte. Like, he doesn't give a shit about Coppa Italia right now. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, I literally feel that he went to ADL and said, just so you know, before I sign this contract, I'm not going to give a shit about Coppa Italia.
100%.
And I'm sorry. I know he got us a Scudetto and everything, but that's what bothers me about him. I don't think Motta would do that. I don't think Allegri would do that. I don't think Italiano would do that. Like any of the coaches that were ever like in relation to Juventus, I don't think they would ever say, hey, by the way, I'm going to literally just get me out of Coppa Italia. I don't want it. Get me out of Europa League. I don't want it. Who did that? Sarri did that, I think, right? With Lazio.
Yep.
Like, I can't stand that. Like, keep me relevant at least. I'm not asking to win it, but keep me relevant. What Conte did this week,
Yeah, it was bad.
It was an absolute joke, bro. He could have fucking swiped the floor with Lazio. And look what happened today. Look what happens today.
4 goals in total with Lazio in 3 days.
But that's my point. Like, he ate his shit today because he. But look what he did. He was like, oh, I don't give a shit about Coppa Italia, and now I'm more focused on the Serie A thing, and he got his ass handed to him both games.
Yep.
That's the one thing with Conte that like, and in the rain, it was so funny to see him with his hat. Like he had his hat like down, raining on him. It was hysterical. I loved it.
Yeah, no, and I, like I said, I agree with that, and especially with the Conte, like they're saying that the effect, and we all know if Napoli was in the Champions League or if he was in the even in Europe and in general, that they wouldn't even be, I think, as close as they are now.
Oh, I don't even think
like
he
I
would have
said,
signed with Napoli if they were in Champions League. I don't think he would have signed.
So hear me out. It's going to
Go
get
ahead,
really
Triv.
interesting because what happens if we're going into January and we're going to talk about Mercato? So what happens if there's another couple of slip-ups here? We know what happens with him. He starts losing his mind, telling ADL, go get me this guy, go get me that guy, go do this, go do. And then what happens if they can't? What happens if he can't go?
He's going to leave.
He's going to start
leave.
and that's why. Again, RB Comps is right. I agree with him that we can't give him too much of a hard time because we've got to worry about ourselves. And as Juventini, we don't care about the other teams. No disrespect to anyone in the chat that cheers for it. But as a Juventino, we don't go after you guys and every game you lose. But that's why I was so annoyed with certain individuals that are not that were constantly going at us. And I said, I'm just gonna stay quiet and I'm gonna wait because all it takes is a couple of games, and we've seen Conte and how he acts. Remember, we were the ones saying he's not gonna make it to Christmas. Well, guess what? He made it to Christmas, and not only did he make it to Christmas, they're in second place. So good for them. Respect, but everybody calma. Even them, they gotta relax now because all it takes is a couple of games here, and we know what happens, right? So that's why it's
Yeah. La Rota Gira.
Season is a marathon, not a sprint, right? So
exactly.
I'm gonna have my fun today and give it to them a little bit to let them know,
what goes around comes around.
I see it. I just don't talk because I know.
I talk. I give to them all the time on Twitter. You know that.
Do the talking. Yeah.
That's my job.
Reno 100% talk.
Well, that's my job. I can't keep my mouth shut. So for certain bacalas. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and not just that, but for a lot of the Napoli, fans that actually talk a lot. I mean, after you won that one little minor Scudetto, you come out of the woodworks where you came from. You started just talking all that.
Yeah, but they played good that year, Joe. Let's be honest. They played good. Right?
Yeah, but
Napoli was on fire, even at the Champions League.
But the score is still 38-3. So, and if you know what I mean by 38-3, like
no, I get that, but let's be a little bit realistic. No. That year, I say good things.
I'll say this: give credit to where credit's due, right? So
yeah, that's what I'm saying, Seth.
We've had a lot of those seasons too, where nobody can touch us.
Yeah.
I think that year, it was more of a scouting thing. Nobody knew Kvaratskhelia. He was fresh onto the field. Nobody knew how to defend him. Osimhen had a breakout year that year. I think that everything came together. Spalletti, everything just worked that year. But clearly, it's showing you how everything worked that one year because they've been shit ever since. And this year, I don't believe in them. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
To be fair, you did say it from the beginning, so I know I have you on record saying it that you were not impressed. Because I remember when we were doing our predictions for where we think people are going to end up top 4, I had them in there, but I had them around 3-4 spot, right? But
this year, I remember you had them around there.
But to be fair, they're playing really well, so that's why I needed to have my moment.
What's weird, Trim, though? Trim, if you think about it, what's weird is I didn't think Atalanta would be where they are now.
Yeah.
I'm rotating Napoli and Atalanta where I'm almost like, fuck, wait, Atalanta's now getting into it. But I just don't see it. I think that Milan.
You never know, bro.
I think that last year going to run, and I think that Juve is going to go on a run.
I think we will because I think we've always had in the Serie A where we always went on a run. Even under Allegri, even under Allegri, we had that chance of belief, towards this time of year where we could have even go far. And like I said, it's not over. And like you said, Trim, I've also been saying it in the past streams as well. It's a marathon, not big, just like 50-yard dash, it's a marathon. You have to, like I said, if we start bad, I'm just going to say a comparison. Look at one of Allegri's seasons. I think it was like the 2016 season where he lost in the beginning, a majority of the games, but then we still ended up, winning the Scudetto in the long run. But that just shows you how it's just a marathon, when we have to take those slow, strides. And like I said, I don't see anybody else probably as big of a threat. Maybe Inter because they have the experience, and maybe Atalanta.
Yes. Those teams we gotta be careful.
I don't see Napoli winning the Scudetto. I don't see Milan. I don't see really anybody that's going for the grabs yet. Until I see some stability. With the points, I think that is when we could really see, we'll see the true definition probably towards maybe March or even February. So let's see what really happens.
I'm going for top 4.
I want to
see what happens.
Personally, I want to say I'm curious to see what everything looks like by the end of January once we know
The European
That's a
teams,
good point.
where are they? Are they going to still make it through? Like some of us are going to be more than likely going through to the playoff portion of Champions League. So does that mean we've got a couple extra games and then possibly you make a round of 16? And then others will fall out. Like I think right now it's safe, unfortunately for them, but it's safe to say I think Bologna is not going to qualify. They're at the bottom of the Champions League standing. So they're done. They're going to just be one comp, but they're not one of the top 7 teams right now. So of the top 7 teams, you've got us, you've got Atalanta, you've got Napoli won competition. Inter is first or second in Champions League. So they're most likely going to get through to the round of 16 based on their standings, right? So you've got guaranteed Inter into round of 16 Champions League. Atalanta's pretty close. And then us. And then who else is in there?
Fiorentina's in there too.
Fiorentina's in was it not Europa, is it? Or Conference League?
I think it's conference.
I think it's conference, but I'm saying they're in the top 6 or 7.
And then Lazio.
Yeah, that's a big surprise.
And then Lazio's either like they're in the top 8 for Europa League. So they're gonna potentially get through to the round of 16. So for me, it'd be interesting to see what happens at that point. You know, we see who's going to a playoff, who's going further in Europe. There will be other Coppa Italia games are going to be finishing around that time, so you're going to see who progresses in the Coppa Italia. Obviously, on our side,
Super Coppa.
On our side, we've got Atalanta, right? So Juve's got to take care of first. They got to get through Cagliari. Then they're eventually can line up with Atalanta. And then on the other side is Inter and I think Milan on the other side of the bracket.
I'm gonna go with you guys, Trim. As far as like, and you guys have spoken about it the last like 2 weeks in the AJC. I'm gonna give all the pressure to Motta. I really think that it's up to him to really figure out this front line and the creativity problem that we have. I don't think it's a player. I don't think it's the injuries. I don't want to blame it on that. I think we're better than that. I think we're too much better, and we've spent way too much money to use that as an excuse where it's Bremer, it's Cabal, it's the injury. No, I think that it's the mindset. It's more of we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
No,
that's how I look at it. Like, other than that, bro, the possession, dude, we're winning possession every game this year. Whether it's Champions League, whether it's Serie A, whether it's Coppa Italia, whatever it is that we've played this year, every single game we win the possession. Maybe not the Bologna game. I'm not sure. I didn't look at the stats for the end of the game. But other than that one game, I feel like we've won possession for the majority of the game. I just think that we need to be able to create better. That's it.
100%. You know, and I think that not even just that, but you know what I noticed about this team, and also with Motta's Bologna last season, with even Bologna this season under Italiano, is that when they versed us, they press. They press a lot, and they swarm me. Why doesn't Juventus?
They literally swarm.
Exactly.
I've never seen this. They swarm.
And why doesn't Juventus do that? That's my biggest thing, and I don't understand why we're not playing like the Bologna that like last season. You know, because we have, in my opinion, we have the better players. We have the better players, in my opinion.
The counterattack, it's not working with us. Bologna has a better counterattack.
Well, Reno just made
a very good point. We're not pressing.
For you to swarm like that, Motta, that's where he's more balanced, where he doesn't want to leave his backline vulnerable. Yeah, and I feel that if you swarm, because we have done that at times where we'll swarm teams, but they're always going to be afraid of the counterattack.
That's the thing. Bravo.
I think that Motta, and this is what these guys have sold me on, is his balance, right? Mm-hmm. Where he's going to try to be a little bit more, instead of swarming, I'm going to try to kill you with possession. I'm going to try to keep possession constantly 70%, 65% of the game, I'm going to have possession. So you can't counterattack. You can't run down the flanks against me. My best defense is possession. You can't score on me unless you have the ball. And that's where he's going with it. Where Italiano, on the other hand, and Fonseca and Pioli and all these type of coaches, and even, what's his name, De Cerbi, all of these type of coaches, they're like, they're just going to constantly like try to rattle you. They're going to rattle you. They're going to rattle you. They're going to rattle you to make mistakes. And that's what Bologna did to us yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, that shows one of our weaknesses, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then one thing that I've been kind of like harping on all year is start on time. That's my biggest thing.
Well,
like,
yeah.
in
Oh,
every single game.
Ever since you said that, Trim, I'm like, I want them to score a goal in like 10 minutes. Like, score the goal in 10 minutes. Score a goal.
And, yeah. And next thing you know, you're looking at the clock and then we're at the 26th minute and we barely even gotten across half.
Yep.
Like we will have the ball. But so that's, for me, that's the biggest thing. It's like the killer instinct to like, rather than sitting back and conceding and being forced to push, why don't you punch first and get the first goal, right? That's the biggest thing for me that I would like to hope and see that Mota can kind of implement with us.
Well, you guys all watched the game yesterday, right? Obviously, you watched it.
Well, me 50-50. I was at work.
At any point during that game yesterday, did any of you say, why can't we do what they're doing?
100%.
Yeah, in the beginning of the game.
I literally was talking to myself in the garage here last night when I was watching the game because I had to watch it on replay. I was at work and I'm watching the game and I'm like, why the hell can't we? They were making Galulu, Gatti, Cambiaso in the beginning when he was still in the game. Everybody was like on edge because they were swarming. They were literally swarming and they were making us uncomfortable. They took us off our game plan. Like, it's like, why can't we do that? Why?
I know that.
And Trim, I wanted to message Bert just to be like, you see what Italiano does? Do you see what he does?
Well, we got to see if we can do that with Juventus because there's a lot of pressure. But I even said on my videos with Bologna recently, the thing with Bologna, because the beginning wasn't great, but now you see the results has been good.
Yeah.
But their thing is, once they go counterattack, that's what we got to be careful. Yes, our defense has been good, but yes, our defense wasn't great. But that's our problem. We haven't seen that counter, that grinta, you know.
Well, the Dushan to Mbangulago was beautiful. It was a beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful soccer. To me, Calcio. That's beautiful. Like, I don't know who passed the ball from the back. Was it Danilo? Who got it?
Yeah, I think Danilo, then Vlahovic, and yeah.
It was beautiful. Beautiful. And what was great about it, if you guys noticed it, Vlahovic held, and I know Reno, Vlau miss.
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah.
He's a caca. He held the ball. It wasn't just the pass that he passed to Mbangula. It was the fact that he purposely drew 3 defenders on him to open up the lane from Mbangula. Like, that's what was the beauty of the play, right? So he drew.
He has to be consistent.
That's what Vlahovic, and I know I'm a shameless plug, but that's what Chiesa used to do with Vlahovic, is draw defenders. No, guys, but joking aside.
Oh, Chiesa.
You got to draw defenders, and you got to open up a lane for somebody else. And they
I wish to see Chiesa, like the Chiesa we've seen before. Like even with Liverpool, my friend, I'm sorry. He hasn't been, it's sad. So I know where you're coming from, Seth.
It's not that. It's more of what they used to do. Like Chiesa and Vlahovic, whenever they would play, it was very, very small time. But they would draw defenders. So Chiesa would take 2 or 3 guys on and open up a lane for Vlahovic, or vice versa. Dybala used to do the same thing with Higuain. They would
bravo.
over, and they would open up a lane for somebody else. We're not doing that right now.
Yeah, but the problem with Vlahovic, he's not consistent. He has that one good time, and then in 10 games, boom, boom, boom. Like he has to be consistent.
Is that he fucks up the easy goals and scores.
Hey, bravo! Oh,
that's the problem with Vlahovic.
Yeah, he can't take la pressione. You know what I mean? That's his problem. Even with the Serbia.
It's all mental. It's all mental. For
not Jeremy said, We'll see what happens.
Vlahovic will score a goal that I'm like, how the hell did he get that through 4 guys' legs? But then when it's an easy tap in, he misses it. So that's the problem with Dusan.
Yeah, no, and the biggest thing is, I think I want to ask you guys a question here as well. What do you think is the biggest problem with our, front line? Do you think it's the striker problem? Do you think it's the wings? Like, do you even think it's the number 10? Like, what do you think is the problem why we're not scoring as many goals as we should, and why we're not even winning? So what do you guys think?
Trim, you go first. You go first.
It's a combination, I feel like, of everything because
agreed.
Dusan as the striker obviously needs to put the ball in the net, but how does he get the ball? It has to be from the wings. It has to be from the 10. Right now, the biggest thing that I'm seeing is that our most creative player is doing too much, and we are relying on him to be the one to create the most, which is Chico. And we saw it more than a few times yesterday, which was kind of frustrating. Like, gets the ball on the right side, take his man wide, try to cross it in. Maybe every other chance, he'll get it in the box, and then we try to get numbers there. But it's just becoming too predictable. So that, for me, is not on a player. It's on the coach and Mota to decide how to go about shifting things around, giving certain players the ball in the right moments to kind of create little plays. And actually, the one play that I really liked and thought that was our best chance, and we didn't score on it, was in the first half, where it was like the 1-2 touch with Coop to Vlahovic over the top, and then he hit it on the one touch. Those are the plays that I think personally we need to try to work and integrate into our system more, whether that's with Coop, whether that's with Yildiz, whoever it may be, just to kind of open up space for whoever it is. It can be either winger on either side, depending on which side you're attacking from. It could be with the 9 and Vlahovic, right, or whoever's playing up top. So I feel like it's mainly that. And then, of course, when Chico or whoever it is, the winger, let's say Yildiz on the other side, coming down the wing, going to send balls across into the penalty box, like, we need to send numbers there. And we've been saying that we've been screaming it at the clouds forever. Like, we're getting outnumbered by the other teams, and they have more defenders in there than we do, right? So we need to send more numbers into the box if that's kind of how we want to attack, right? But I like those little 1-2 touch passes, and then you can expose the defenders, draw them in like Vlahovic did to Mbangula on that goal, right? So I think it's more on Mota personally than one particular position or player.
Yeah, 100%. Severino, what do you think about, like, with the question as well?
I'm going to piggyback off of Trim on that one. Guys, how many games did we see this year where it's Yildiz or Chico or Weah just running down that right or left flank, and they center it, and there's nobody there? It's Dusan with 3 guys on him. Coop is like behind, and he can't get there in time, and the ball goes in between them, and it just goes right back to the right side or the left side, whatever have you. But I kind of thought in a 4-3 or 4-2-3-1, we wouldn't have to work on the sides as much as we do. We depend so much on our wings, where I thought with a guy like Coop, we could break through the middle. And I wanted more. I keep bringing this up. I wanted more Chanaloglu type goals, where I wanted Loka and Fagioli and Thuram and these guys hit shots from like outside the what is that? I guess that would be the 20-yard. I don't know, the 18-yard box. Yeah, like I wanted more where we don't have to literally bring it right up to the net, right up to the 6-yard box to score a goal, like centering it. And I don't know if you guys noticed this yesterday. Everything was long passes. And Bologna just kept intercepting the passes. That's all they kept doing. That from Danilo, from Loka, from Kalulu, like from Perin, they just kept these long balls, and they would just keep intercepting the balls. And I'm like, stop doing that. Play the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Play the ball on the ground. You have Yildiz and Chico on the wings. Play the ball on the ground and use your flanks. Okay, fine. We'll try that way. But then it's when we get to that final third, like you said, Gio, we don't know what to do. Dusan and Coop are in that middle, And I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Coop almost has become a false nine. He really has.
Maybe.
He's become a false nine. I mean, he's big enough. He's a big guy, so maybe he could do it. Like he's that kind of guy. Like he's almost like a striker at that point. But is that what we got him for? He's supposed to be a creator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I thought we were getting a creator.
Yeah,
more than a
he's
goal
not really.
scorer.
Yeah, he's not really been doing that. He's become almost like a finisher at this point.
Yeah.
So again, like to piggyback off of Trim, I think that it's on Mota to like really give these guys some kind of an identity and be like, Dusan, this is your role. Coop, this is your role. Yildiz, this is your role. Chico, this is your role. That's why I'm kind of really curious to get Nico back. I really want to get Nico back.
Yeah.
And just to see what we could do with a Chico and a Nico on the wings, put Yildiz in the middle, put Coop behind him, not in front of him. Put him behind him with Locatelli, and see what the two of them can do. Even though I've loved Thuram, guys. By the way, I've loved Thuram the last.
Thuram.
He's a beast in that thing, man.
Yeah.
That's why I almost say we need to go to a 4-3-3 way where you can almost have Loca, Coop, and in the midfield, and then put the wingers and Vlahovic at the top three. But these are all beautiful options to have.
Yep.
James.
James.
All I saw James write was sorry, Berto, but I didn't see what he saw before it.
the quotes of I don't rate Vincenzo Italiano.
Oh my God, you guys are crazy. Italiano's a good coach. He's a good coach.
Yeah, but we have to see him in a bigger team, right? So he will develop himself. He will. Like maybe after Bologna, he might go to Lazio. Then from there, he can go to Milan or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I actually like Palladino better than Italiano.
Palladino's a nice coach.
Palladino.
Where has Fiorentina like this season? I mean, they come out of the woodwork, and
bro,
they
this guy wanted Keane for 2 years. He finally got him, and look at what's going on.
Yep.
And
but
Keane, I couldn't stand Keane.
No, but Keane is more better. I think he's more better.
Yeah, he's not Juventus.
Less pressure. Yeah.
He's more of a he'll be like a Vlahovic, because I think even Vlahovic does well with less play. No, it's true. Yeah. Look at when he was at Fiorentina, he was back and goes bam, bam, bam.
No, I know. That's how we all wanted him. But too much money they got him.
Yeah, but Reno, different system. You have to put. Look, I was talking to Giuseppe, all of our friend Giuseppe, in the chat, right?
Yeah.
And I said this. Let's do a quick little thing, Gio.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talks about Haaland and Dusan, right? And Reno, you're not going to like this conversation.
Okay.
Put Haaland on Juventus and put Dusan Vlahovic on Manchester City. How many goals do you think Dusan will have with Manchester City? With that service?
I don't know. You have to see if he can maintain the pressure, because even Man City, there's a lot of pressure Premier League. You have to see that.
The service he would get with in that style of play under
I don't know. It's hard for me to.
The service between
with me personally, I think Dusan would have 30-40 goals a year with Manchester City.
30, 40, maybe 25.
I don't know.
No, I think
and I'm sorry,
I don't know. For me,
I think Haaland would have 15 goals with Juve.
I don't know.
It's the service, guys. These are forward strikers that rely. They live and die on service. If they don't get the service, they're not going to score. They're just not. Yes, Dusan has eaten a lot of goals this year. I'm not going to lie. He has eaten a lot of goals. But you put Dusan on Manchester City, he's going to score just as much.
I don't know. Sorry, Seth. I find it hard, because even with the Serbia, he hasn't been doing great. So we'll see. He wants to leave. Apparently he's not going to accept that low salary. So let's hope Arsenal will get him, or maybe Man City might get him. Let's see. if he's the different Vlahovic, then all credit to him if that happens, if he ever leaves Juventus. So,
Yeah, no.
Trim,
And,
what do you think?
Well,
Mm.
I mean, Haaland's got what 150 chances every year to score.
Yeah,
So
that's what my point is.
he's gonna get more chances, but it's hard to quantify exactly how many goals.
yeah,
Either
but
one. will get.
Haaland at Champions League, he doesn't do much. There's pressure on him at the Champions. But Premier League, he gets a lot of he does a lot of goals. But
Yeah,
this year,
and
not really, because Man City è una cagata, quindi we cannot say nothing.
they're in a bad moment too right now.
Yeah,
and that's
they are.
the
They're
biggest.
struggling.
I've been
They're
watching
struggling,
them. It's embarrassing. But
But
we'll see.
that being said, I'm still not concerned, but I am, kind of gonna keep a close eye out for Wednesday because, like, they've got quality everywhere on the field. So yeah, they're not playing great, but they've got
Their
a lot of good
backline
quality
is
players.
later, Trim.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing. So, getting back to kind of like our wing play, we're going up against better defenders. They've got like Vardiol in the middle, who's going to be basically just like pinned on
Bernardo
Vlahovic.
Silva.
Oh, he's going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
glued to Dusan.
So
He's
they've
gonna
got
be
him, and I
glued
think
to
it's Ake is the other guy they've got
Yeah.
as their center back duo, or Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz and Vardiol are going to be watching Vlahovic like a hawk. So it's going to be, unfortunately, in the sense that we just said it's predictable, but it's going to be up to Chico. It's going to be up to Yildiz on the wings to try to create.
on the wings.
Hey, we gotta be
And here-
careful, Bernardo Silva. That guy scores all the time.
Okay, but here's our issue. Normally, we would have Bremer glued to Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have that
It's
now.
Gatti. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Gatti. I think it's gonna
probably
be
going
Gatti.
to be. It's going to be Gatti to like frustrate him. Matteo.
Grande
big-
Matteo.
The biggest thing is we were saying on our channel, I think it was last week before, like looking ahead to this game, they're slow in the middle of the park. So they've got speed on the back end, but in the middle is where our midfield has to really boss and play well. So that's going to be up to Coop. It's going to be up to Loca and whoever else gets in there as the second.
What
pivot.
do you think? You guys think he's going to go with the Loca Thuram thing to put a little bit of presence in the midfield, or is he going to go back with Fagioli or possibly? I don't think he'll go Douglas.
I would personally put Thuram because I think there's speed
Yeah,
there as
Fagioli,
well.
no.
So not only does he have the physicality, but I think Thuram can create, but he's also got the long, lanky kind of speed to him. And it looks awkward, but he makes it work and he just flies by people. So for me, I would go Thuram, Loca, and then Coop, I guess, in the 10. But again, like, I don't know, maybe this is the game where he finally says, you know what, let's move Yildiz to the 10 and put Coop back there with Loca and let them boss the middle of the park, right? I don't know. We'll have to see.
You guys think that Coop can go back in a pivot?
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
No,
he can play anywhere.
Meaning back like on a counter or whatever. Like, you think he can pivot like that?
Yeah.
See that, Sev? James.
Holland runs through defenders.
Yeah.
I guess.
Nah, I don't think so, James.
Well, I mean, hey, but if
you're wrong, buddy.
Holland, no, but he might have a point because I mean, Holland, we could all see that Holland's definitely way faster than Vlahovic. I mean, especially like we already seen it this season with Vlahovic. Especially against, like, for example, Empoli with that one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he had that pressure with that goal. And what happened? He misses. So with Vlahovic, I don't think he's missing that chance. If it's Holland, if it's Holland, he's not missing that chance. So that's where I say that. And I think even in the big moments as well, Holland does step up, and also even I think he could score those hard goals as well. Even if there's like a defender on him, all he needs to just shove him off of his, because he's big in size and then just turns and just takes a nice shot. Vlahovic, if a guy is on him, then he's either gonna fall on the ground, which he does like all the time. He's like a flipper over there, just like falling on his ass all the time.
Well,
like Lautaro.
I've said this a million times, Gio, on your lives. I at guys like Haaland and Vlahovic different than I look at like an Osimhen or a Lukaku or whatever. Like, these guys are power strikers, right? They use their body a lot. So they're going to use their body to have their back to the net and then 180 somehow try to figure out how to control the ball and take a shot however they can, using their power. Now, you guys wanted, like a lot of people have said this, put Yildiz, when Vlahovic was out, put Yildiz in the 9 role. Yildiz is not a power guy. He's not big. He's not like a Vlahovic or a Lukaku or a Holland. He's not gonna be able to have a guy pulling his shirt, take a hit with his left. He's not gonna be able to do that. That's not what Yildiz does, and that's not what Weah is. Like these guys are not power strikers.
Yeah.
Lautaro Martinez, for example, is not a power striker. Thuram is not a power striker. To me, Holland, Lukaku, Vlahovic, they're all in the same category where they could have 2 guys pulling their shirts and still get a shot off.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing that we rely on. Is I feel that we need a guy to take some of those guys off of our power striker, to draw the defenders onto him. And I'm not bringing him up again, but I'm just saying, like, Chico can do it. No, but Chico does it. Chico does. He draws guys over to him. You could see yesterday that Italiano, every time Coop Miners touched the ball, there was 3 guys on him. Every time.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Take the focus off of Dusan. Take the focus off of our main goal scorer, and then you open up lanes. You open up lanes for our other guys.
Yeah, no, and the biggest thing that I've noticed, and I pointed out on actually yesterday's live, so if you guys are watching, make sure to go check out my previous stream that I did yesterday as well after this show, because I actually pointed out that I saw the Coop's goal, and we all saw that Vlahovic was actually, grabbing I think 3 or 4 defenders and just making that space.
He was a feeder yesterday. Yeah,
exactly. And the way that Coop just very sneaky comes in from behind, and that reminded me of Coop from Atalanta, because that right there, that reminded me, I think, of the last season's goal against Milan, where he just comes in from behind and just takes a nice shot. Same thing here. It was like it was right there for him. It was on the platter, and you need to finish those. And that's where I think that Coop that's a specialty is finishing as well. And I really think that he's going to be massive for the game against Manchester City. So it all depends, I think, on Motta, where he really puts him as well, because like we said, me and Trim, right? We all said that we think that he should drop back, but it all depends on Motta. Motta should be able to read it, because he's the coach of Juventus. We're not. So if we're seeing that, and he's not, then there's a problem. But I think in the long run into the season, I think he will eventually see it, where I think Coop is being used improperly. But I think we can really think that he'll find out. You'll find out. But yeah, I mean, guys, if you guys want to move on, we could go to the Mercato and then right into the UCL. So Mercato time, guys, and we start off with Osimhen. Guys, Osimhen to Juve. What do you guys think?
Flat out no for me.
Ooh,
I'm an out too.
50-50.
50-50?
I wouldn't mind him, but I understand why the boys don't want him, because they had to deal with the De Laurentiis.
Yeah.
De Laurentiis, high wages, expensive.
Yeah. True.
Giving Napoli money. I don't like giving Napoli money. No, I'm okay.
No, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way. I agree with you guys. I don't think that we should go after Osimhen because of that. We're actually giving our rivals money and cash to really,
enough.
So enough with the Italian teams. I think we need to look abroad and look, forward to other teams, like, maybe, in the Bundesliga, look for a top striker, maybe like a Šeško or something like that.
Or Zirski.
Or yeah,
exactly,
from the Premier League. I wouldn't mind him because he's already familiar with
Motta.
Style.
That's the only reason why. But we have to see.
I don't want Osimhen because if we... Yes, I agree with you, Orazio. I agree. I agree. No Osimhen, no. No, I was just going to say, if we get a guy like Osimhen, it becomes an Osimhen thing. It's the Juventus thing anymore. Like, he's gonna be the headline every week. And don't get me wrong, he's a great player. He's a great player. He's probably better than Dusan right now. I'm not going to lie. He really is. But I just don't want that attention and all of the nonsense, and like Dusan gets enough attention as it is already, like with the stuff that he does and stuff like that. Like, I don't want any more of that. I want to see this Dusan Vlahovic thing go through. Like, I want to see it through. I was super excited when we got him. It was like one of the first times that we ever signed a big player in January. Like, it was exciting to me when we got him. And I want to see it through. You know, like, I feel that he could be successful here. I really do.
Yeah, Trim, what do you think?
Yeah, it's just exactly like Sev took the words right out of my mouth. It's more of, you know, it's going to be all about him. And I think it's more of a distraction than anything, coupled with the fact of the team he's owned by, high salary, high wages. For me, at that point, I'd rather keep Dusan. But that being said, it takes two to tango. He has to be willing to, okay, if the club wants to negotiate a new contract and lower his salary, he has to want to do that. And if he doesn't, then that's where alternative options come in.
Yeah. No, and
sorry, not to interrupt, but does it bother anybody else that like nobody big has come after this guy? Like that he had to go to Galatasaray, like Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, like all of these.
I agree with you.
That should kind of tell you something, no?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He wanted to go to Chelsea, but it didn't work out for some reason.
He was like locked into PSG. He was locked into Chelsea. He was locked into Liverpool, like all these other teams, Arsenal, and he wound up going to Turkish league.
It's with Chelsea specifically. They spent about $300 billion already, so they couldn't afford to spend another $100 billion to get him. So I think that was bad with them. Yep. And then he turned down Saudi because he had a lucrative deal, but you know, it makes sense. He's, you know,
he wants to stay relevant.
Yeah, and he's still at the level that he can play in Europe. But the thing is, he's not realistic in what he wants salary wise. That he's basically pricing him out of a lot of options. If you think about it, like a lot of those big clubs could take him, but he's pricing himself out.
Well, Tony just said it now. Tony was like, if he was a free agent, cool, all right.
Yeah,
it cost too much to get him. That's fine.
100%. I agree with Tony.
You gotta pay.
Sorry, guys, I'm with my son. I can't put the video, so
that's okay. But yeah, I think it's he needs to realize that he signed the contract with ADL, and so now he's stuck until they decide what they want to do with him. So we'll see.
Ciro, no, please no.
More.
Oh no, not Ciro Immobile, please.
Per favor. Come on, paisano Lazio fan, fai bravo, eh?
Oh no, man. No, but you know, not just that, but here's the big news actually, and this is for the defense. You know, for the defensive stage. You know, and this is from Di Marzio, and this was reported from the All Juve cast and also from JuveCorner cast as well. Breaking: Juventus have pretty much secured Antonio Silva, which he's 21, from Benfica. He's expected to arrive on a costly loan deal operation similar to the Conceição from Porto. So
it's similar to the Chico move, right? Like, so we won't have to pay him anything until next year.
Yep. So what do you guys think about that? And I know Trim is a big fan of this guy.
I am.
What do
you guys think?
I am too.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, like again, in the limited action and time that I've seen him play, specifically against us in the Champions League, going back even a couple years, which take that in, he was 19 years old and he was starting at Benfica playing against us in the Champions League, and he made us he just dummied Dusan and whoever else is out there, Di Maria. Like he held us down pretty well. And so they brought in other defenders this year. He's a couple years older. He's not getting playing time. For me, he feels like the most natural replacement for Bremer. Should Bremer never come back and return to what he was?
Is he more of a center or a fullback?
Center back.
Center.
Strictly center back. So, and that's what I was trying to explain to, like, I get some people who are hesitant and just basically saying that it doesn't make sense that we're signing him to the fee that we're going to potentially have to pay when there's other options out there. Or, you know, we've talked about it on our channel, on our show. You could recall a guy like
Rugani, which I know Reno's not a fan of
Oh,
Rugani.
I would have taken him back in a heartbeat.
Not a fan. Like last year he did good, but to have him back, please no.
Yeah, but like
but
as a
Juntuli shit the bet on that one.
As like a temporary stopgap from January till the end of the season, it makes sense. Or even like we've stated as well before on our channel about free agents, right? Like there are free agent options as well. So I get all that, but for me, he's 21 years old. He's one of the top highly rated prospects worldwide. And you have the opportunity to get a guy like that. Like, I don't know, to me, it just seems like a no-brainer. And again, I know people have also mentioned to me that, oh, but what about in a couple of years if he wants to use this as a stepping stone to leave? Because in a way, it's like that's kind of like what happened with Dean Huyson, right? But I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about him coming in. And I've also had someone tell me he's not an immediate game changer. But again, we just, at this point, we need bodies. So
yeah,
if there's guys that are
100%.
What's his age?
21.
Oh, so
very young.
He's super young. Oofa.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully he can maintain the pressure, you know?
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Guys, Savona surprised me. So
yeah, same with me.
He surprised me. I wasn't a believer in the beginning with him. Rui, I think he
still needs more to grow.
Yeah,
he needs more to grow.
More in the moment.
Yeah.
Savona proved me wrong in the beginning. Trim, you'll know this. I said it. Savona wasn't like, I was like, I don't know about this guy. Like, he seems a little weak in the legs, and he seems like he gets caught up in the moment a little too much. But he proved me wrong. So maybe he'll do the same. He'll do the same. Yeah, he'll do the same. And he's playing on a big team. Benfica's a big team.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, and the biggest name also besides from that is also Fagioli, if he's gonna leave or not. You know, that's the biggest thing. I mean, guys, do you think
they have to sell him?
Exactly. And do you think that we're gonna, should we sell Fagioli or should we
I say sell him, then it's up to you guys.
Yeah, but if we're gonna get this guy on a loan, do we really need to sell him?
Well, because it's going to be expensive, so we must, and also we have to go after a striker as well. We have to go after somebody for the up top. So where are we going to get the funds? We have to sacrifice somebody.
Hey,
I think they're banking on.
Sorry,
Milik.
guys.
Yeah, I think they're banking on Milik. I don't know if we're going to go after like a Xerxes or a Jonathan David. It's summer. That's not January.
Yeah, it's summer. But
it's summer.
Yeah.
So I think he's banking on Milik.
Yeah, I mean,
David in the summer, I don't know. He probably might go to Barcelona. I doubt it. He comes.
We need to make changes though. We need to get somebody. We need to, if we're going to be a serious, team, I think we have to make that push and get somebody at least, get somebody that is fresh from Malta, because we need somebody that can really, I think, especially if Vlahovic does get injured somehow, and Milik's still not back, we need somebody to fill that role, because as we've seen, we're kind of vulnerable, not, up top. So we pretty much, I think, need that.
Yeah, I mean, if we're seeing it as fans, and if management can't see that, you can't rely on Milik as an option, or even Nico Gonzalez coming back from injury and possibly sliding in as a false nine or a replacement for Vlahovic. Should we give him some rest? Like, I don't know what else they need to see. Like, we need at least one striker up top for sure, as a sub or an alternative to Dusan. And then just kind of going back to the Antonio Silva potential loan with option in the summer, Mateo actually makes a really good point that you bring in a guy like that, you can push Kalulu back out to right back, and that helps on the fullback side of things too. With him and Savona,
I love
fullbacks, or even Cambiaso when he comes back, that would be fantastic. And then
I love
Kalulu
as a right back.
Yeah,
I like Kalulu as a right back. I like the way he goes up. I really do. Yeah. At least that'll make Gatti stop fucking moving up like the way he does. And Gatti, like, you guys ever notice, like, Gatti just takes the ball and he's like, and he just runs up, and I'm like, oh my god, 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 oh my god. Like, what's he gonna do right now? Like, it's just every time he goes up like that, I'm like, oh my god, what is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? Like, I like Gatti. Excuse me, I like Gatti. I don't want to compare him to Chiellini, but I like him in the back. Like, I like him in the center. I like him defending. I like him drawing a foul. I like all that. When he starts to move up the pitch and he's got that ball, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, what is he going to do right now? What's he going to do? Because he's so big and he's so, not clumsy. I don't want to use the word clumsy, but it's just like, I don't know. It just scares me. I would rather Gatti and Bremer in the middle and Kalulu and Cambias on the fullbacks.
Yep.
Like that's my perfect 4-man back line.
And guys, we also have a comment from, I think, a new person in the chat. He's also Juventino as well. He says, guys, I'm listening about an hour now, and I have to say, why you lower our standards so much? Why that low expectations from our team? Why satisfied with this such disappointing situation? Hey.
So I have one kind of thing to say about this, and it's pretty straightforward. Like, everybody has their own opinions, and when people like us who are just trying to be like objective and realistic with like our current situation, kind of how it's going, to them it seems like we're lowering our expectations. But my counter argument would be, the year that we finished 7th, were we not striving to win the Scudetto that season? Yes, 100%. We probably were. But does that mean we lowered our expectations? No, and we still finished 7th. Mm-hmm. So what's the difference between then and now? And that year was what, 2011? Before the Conte season, we finished 7th, no?
Yeah.
Yep.
So and that was with a team of players, filled with players, worse than the roster we have now. So my point is, we're not lowering our expectations. People need to get that statement out of their heads when it comes to people like us or varying opinions, whatever. You have a different outlook. It's just, we are not so irrational to just say, if we don't make top 4, we got to get rid of Mota, we got to get rid of this guy and that guy. We're just looking at the current situation, and it's all factual. We have a bunch of injuries. We're playing with barely 14, 15, 16 players on the roster. We can barely make any substitutions in the game. And you're still going to cry and say that we're lowering our standards because, we're not striving to win the Scudetto and whatever. Like, that's not what we're saying here. And this is why this whole thing bothers me when people say, like, you're lowering the expectations. We're Juventus. No, nobody's lowering the expectations. We're looking at what the situation is. And again, if you don't like that, that's fine. But that's me. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Bro, you're Juventino since 97. I've been since 1995, 96. And we are just being realistic. We cannot always be so positive and deny all these facts, what's happening. Like, it's about time to move on. And these are words that we're not saying it. Started from Elkan saying he's happy with top 4, and especially Giunti, which a lot of people are mad at Giunti, because as a Juventus, you should never say our objective is the first top 4. So Gianni, Paisano, I don't know, man. Sometimes you gotta be realistic.
Yeah, no.
And no, he just responded and said about the year after Serie B. No, I'm actually talking about, it was 2011, 2012, or 2010, 2011. It was well after. We were already in Serie at that point. We finished 7th. Then Conte came in, and that's when everything started to change. So it's happened, as you're pointing out, it's actually happened more than once. So, but again, I'm not comparing a team that just got promoted from Serie B because of what happened in Calciopoli. I know my stuff a little bit. I don't profess to know everything. I'm not perfect. I don't remember every single thing, but I do remember those moments. And my point is just that, again, that was a poor team then. We have a better team now. So yes, in theory, we should be striving for the Scudetto. But nobody's saying we're lowering our expectations. If you view it as that, again, that's your opinion. That's fine. I'm not here to try to convince you and change your mind, right? But I think we're just trying to be as objective as possible and realistic in what the current situation is. And like I said, it's factual that we have all these injuries. It's not an excuse. Because Mota right now is more often than not getting it wrong rather than getting it right. So
exactly, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, if we talk about even with how we came in 7th, well, when was it, like 2 years ago, and we missed out on Champions League, right? So we're rebuilding off of that as well. So, and also look at our financial standpoint right now, and not just even that, but the injuries don't help. But I think every single season that we are in, Juventus is always going to be in the discussion for the Scudetto. I don't see why not. My expectations for Juventus is always to go and reach, the Scudetto. I that's me. I always think that we can, even in our difficult moments, because we have proven that. I mean, look at last season. We stuck with Inter for half a season with not even our best squad. And like I said, it's not that we're lowering our expectations, but it's just like we're just looking at the current situation right now, especially with that we are sixth and that we are drawing the games right now and we're not winning. That's the only reason why we're saying that, top four could be more of an objective since this is Motta's first year. Same thing with Allegri's first year when he came back, right? What was the objective then? To win the Scudetto? Or was it to be top four? It's to win the Scudetto, but then it's top four, right?
Well, and that's the other thing I was just going to say. Two things. One is, I think I can speak for everybody. We're all fed up that it's been 5 years we haven't won anything. Like that's just
frustration.
So if I have to lay that out for you, then I don't know what to tell you, because I mean nobody's happy that we haven't won. But number two, Primo Calcio makes another good point, but that is a different topic, saying about the DNA is definitely lost. Elkan did that. This isn't Juventus I grew up watching. That to me is a separate conversation and argument than lowering the standards and translating it to this year, because that's more of like a big picture overall kind of thing. So I almost like, not that I separate it, but I feel like that's kind of one thing, the DNA, which yes, it kind of coincides with like the way that the team's built, roster construction, what they're spending players. But I almost like, not separate it, but it's almost like that's kind of like a 1A and a 1B is this specific season, and do we lower our standards, or are we not, that kind of stuff, right? And again, it's just at the end of the day, for me, it's all about your patient level as a person or an individual. Clearly, there's people who are more patient than people who are not. I had to put up with Allegri for 4 years, so we
all did. Yep.
Yeah. That, I would like to think I grew some patience with that, right? Yep. So I don't know. That's just kind of how I look at it, right?
I mean, I'll piggyback off of that, Trim, and say I think that this is all more on. It's not a personnel issue anymore. It's not, hey, this guy got hurt. This guy's good. We're gonna lean on J Medical that we all make fun of all the time, right? Like we're all like, oh, J Medical is this, and a guy's day to day, and you're not going to see him for 3 months. I think it's more of we have enough depth in this team. It's going to be on Motta.
Yep.
Motta's got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because the majority of I'll say this, 70% of our game is good. It really is. Possession is good. Our backline is good. Our defense, the midfield is pretty good. It's more that front three, that creation of goals and execution on getting it done is the issue. Other than that, dude, we haven't lost a game yet. We haven't lost a game. That's weird, right? Like we're in 7th place and we haven't lost a game. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And what does that tell you? It tells you that we can't execute.
Mm-hmm. And it also tells you that the teams around us are actually fairly strong or fairly consistent, right. I guess you could say. Right. More consistent, because like you said, being in 7th place and not losing is, you'd think you'd be a little bit higher. Not first, but you'd be a little bit higher, maybe top 4. But it just goes to show you the depth in the top 7-8 squads in Serie A, which, like James said, it's a league that allows for anyone to win, which is great for Serie A. And I mean, like he's saying it there, like, I am being objective because, it's true. Year by year, the team's getting smaller. We said all of those things. So, I think you just might have missed that. And I just said about how in the last 4 to 5 years we haven't won, which is why we're
all
not
frustrated.
Happy,
all frustrated, The only thing that we've won out of those 5 years is that one Coppa Italia. Seriously, like, come on.
Yeah,
and
with Pirlo, the Super Coppa.
Pirlo, but if we're talking about the Scudetto, we haven't won 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years since Saturday.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, guys, there's a lot of calcio to play still. There's a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
calcio.
Oh yeah.
We have Coppa Italia, we have Supercoppa, we have Champions League, we have Scudetto, we have a lot of stuff still going on. I'm gonna piggyback off of Trim and just say it's really on Motta. It really is on him. Now, is he a 1-year manager? No shot. They're gonna give him and Giuntoli at least 2 years, if not maybe 3, because it's a system. It's a system. It's a system type thing where they have to see this out. They have to see it through, and say, okay, this is what we decided to do last year. We're gonna rebuild. This is year 0. Next year will be year 1, year 2, year 3, whatever it is. But they're gonna see it through. I don't think Elkan is gonna clean house anytime soon. I personally don't think that.
Who are they gonna get in replace of Motta? Come
Right.
on.
Like,
at
but
this
that's
time
my
of
point.
year,
Like, where are we gonna go with this?
and not just that.
Even
but you also
De
have to
Piero
remember-
said yesterday that Motta is in the wrong too because he has to make these teams scared. So, and De Piero said it yesterday after the game.
It's not just
So-
that, but if you think about it, if we sack
'Cause,
Motta
nobody's scared of us. We got to get back
But
our
we're not,
grinta,
what are we gonna do? Go down the road that Roma is doing, where they change coaches every
Yeah.
fucking 20
No,
minutes? Like,
no,
it's
I did not. No, I did not say the change coach. But I'm just saying that Motta has to put these guys into shape, and as
Yeah,
what
yeah,
De
yeah.
Piero said.
Eventually,
I'm not saying
it
that.
will. Eventually, it will.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
They're
I
gonna
was-
It's
see
just
this.
needs time. It's just
They're
needs time.
gonna Elkan's gonna see this through. Like, he's not gonna clean house or, like, fire sale this thing. He's gonna see this through. Like, this is his new system. That's it. Like, this is what we're doing. We went with Giuntoli and Motta. This is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna see it through. But everybody is like counting, literally, like, oh, okay, he gets 2 summer mercados, 2 winter mercados. Like, no, stop thinking about it like that. Just let them see it through. If it gets to the point where it's disastrous, okay, fine. Then you can go and say, okay, we got to clean house. We got to wipe the floor clean and start over. We just did that.
Yes.
We literally just did that. We got rid of Nedved. We got rid of what's his name? Arriva Ben. Like,
we
the
got
whole
rid of
thing.
everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
we got rid
the
of
whole management. The whole management.
And supposedly we got rid of all the staff at J Medical, but apparently it's not doing any.
Mm.
It's not doing much.
Oh my God. But no, I mean, like you were saying as well, I think it's just not even look, if you're comparing that, if you think that this year is a big disaster, just look at all the other seasons that we had to deal with. The 15-point deduction, not being banned from the conference league, because we couldn't even play Europe at all. They banned us for that. And then listen, like this is our years that we're starting to be consistent in our top 4. If we could get at least money, we could reinvest and get some more players, and then we could start build a team around Thiago Motta and certain players on this team. And I think, like I said, it's going to take time. We probably won't see the real Juventus till at least the real Juventus probably like February. Especially with all the injuries. So and like I said, this is a marathon. We said it before, me and Trim, we said that this was a marathon. So it doesn't matter how we start, it matters how we finish. And you have to also remember, and Severino, you said it before, we have 0 losses still. Yeah. So, like I said, if we just start winning now, and it will come, because we're, Juventus is always that team that, once they start winning a couple games, we win a lot more than that. I
think we need a little run in us. I think that'll help a lot.
It will happen. It will happen. It happens with every team. Atalanta, Fiorentina right now, which is surprising, right? Lazio as well. So, like I said, it's just going to take, one chance. And like I said, remember, there's the other teams. The other teams are playing in Europe. You're going to be like Napoli, 1 game a week. But it all depends. Things can go our way and things, can go their way. So it all depends on, just the stars, they just have to align for us to, I think, even win the Scudetto this season. It's all like I said, this season, in order, I think, for us to win the Scudetto, we have to make, of course, in reinforcements in January. 2, Motta needs to figure out, I think, where the players need to be. 3, I think that with all the players just need to stop getting injured, because I don't know what's happening there with the J Medical. Because like I already said it before on my channel, I'm like, hey, J Medical out, please get everybody out and get some new people.
Yeah,
in,
but
because
we have a lot of games too. It's not gonna help either. So
of course, and then
that's
remember,
the problem
we have
too
the
with these
summer,
injuries.
we have the World Cup, the Club World Cup in the summer. So that's going to be even, like I said, it's going to be also debate on if Bremer should even go and play if he recovers earlier, which in my opinion, he shouldn't even play probably till the next season. He shouldn't even go to that World Cup,
No.
and that's going to be the biggest thing. So like I said,
yeah, I mean, we might fall into a little bit of a problem with that. And I didn't want to bring this up in the chats and stuff, but now that we're live, it's actually kind of fun to do it. So you guys saw that in the Club World Cup, FIFA did like this thing where they said if you don't play your best players, like you can get fined in the Club World Cup. So if Bremer is back, it'll be June, right? I think it starts in June, like the middle of June.
Yeah, you don't want him to play.
Are we gonna get fined if we don't start him against Manchester City and Orlando? Like,
no,
we let him rest.
He's hurt, so they could just you could just say he's not ready. He's not ready to come back.
Yeah,
it's a long term like devastating injury. So just his recovery's taking longer. That's it.
Yeah.
With him,
I just hope they don't pull like, oh, look at Scalvini, he came back from the same injury.
Yeah, well,
and he's playing the same position. So what do you mean? Like, why can't he play? Like, I just see like FIFA, like, because we're always like the target of like shit.
Yeah.
So where they're gonna be like, oh well, Scalvini came back in 4 months. Why can't Bremer come back? And like, oh, we're gonna fine you in Club World Cup because you can't start Bremer, the best defender in Europe. Like, I'm like, it's
we all know Atalanta's on the juice, so they got something cooking over there.
Bro, the fact that guy's back already is insane to me. Like, that's
and Scamacca's training too,
and Scamacca's like not that far along either.
I don't know how, but it's just some weird thing with Gasperini as well, just getting players to just integrate into the system as well. Like, if you look at, De Ketelaere from, when he was playing at Milan, it's not the same, player as he is now at Atalanta. So it's even, same thing with Coop Miners, I mean, Coop has been actually showing up now, so I'm not going to say too much about Coop Miners, but, like I said, these are the games, especially now, we're going to get into it now, and we're going to keep it short for the Manchester City one. Guys, Man City, let's talk about it, because this is the big thing on Wednesday. And guys, also, I just want to remind everybody as well, we will be doing our first watch along on the channel. I'm going to be doing it. So guys, finally, I'm going to be doing our first watch along. So if you guys want to watch along with me, go ahead, and you guys probably will see my crazy reactions, because I go crazy with these games and I love doing it.
Yeah, you do.
And especially if there's something's in it. And also, even at halftime, I'll also point out some of the things that I think Juventus is, should be working on as well for that. So definitely it's going to be a special one. So hopefully, everybody can also attend for that. And also like and subscribe to the channel, and also subscribe to the All Juve cast. That's where if you guys can see more of Trim, and also subscribe to Couch with Reno Z. Come on, guys. Come on.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you. Yeah.
And let's also get more collabs as well. Trim, I know you're gonna have me with Alberto on your stream soon, so it's gonna be awesome, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for that too. It's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, we'll try to make it happen for sure. That's on the cards.
Yeah, no, and not just that, but guys, thoughts on Manchester City and Juventus? Like, let's go. Trim, what do you think?
Ooh, okay. Put me on the spot early. So I tend to be Mr. Positive. And I tend to think, they should be able to figure it out. But I can't really give a prediction, but what I will say is it would be one hell of a statement if they actually did pull it off and they do get the win. I feel like that's all they're missing right now is they need to just get one win to kind of make them feel good again about themselves. Not that they feel badly, because, again, we haven't lost. Or at least not in the league. Champions League we have, right? But
yeah, it's too
I feel like in this last run of games where it's just been draw after draw after draw, if they can manage to get a W against this team, that's a big statement for me in the sense of
kind of puts you and steers you in the right direction. To me, it's going to come down to the middle of the pitch. Like I pointed out before, big names in the middle of that pitch for that City team. But in watching their games recently, and most recently on Saturday, prior to our game, just catching a little bit of what I saw, they're slow. So we really need to take advantage of the middle of the pitch and try to use our speed to our advantage, and hope for some magic. It's I'm a nostalgic guy. I like to think back to 2015-16 when we beat them in City and Morata scored that goal with the classic black and gold kit sliding into the end zone.
Guys, sorry, I have to leave. So Joe,
okay,
thanks.
Reno.
Yeah,
No
and
problem,
then we'll
guys.
keep in touch. Thanks again. Simply Severin. We'll keep in
Ciao,
touch.
Reno.
Ciao,
We'll talk, Reno.
I have to
Take
go.
care.
Okay.
We will talk.
Ciao,
We
ciao.
will talk.
Okay. Ciao.
Ciao, Reno.
But yeah, no, just to finish up, like I said, I'm nostalgic. I'm hoping for another, classic City Juve Champions League goal there, and hopefully we get a win.
Yeah, no, 100%. And Severino, what do you think about Juve and Man City?
Oh man. All right. So I'm a little distracted right now. Not to tie off anything, but breaking news: the Mets just signed Juan Soto.
Oh yeah.
So it's like breaking on the screen on the bottom of my TV. So I'm like my hands are on like my my hands right now. I'm like losing it. Because I'm a big Met fan too. So but no, okay. So here's my deal for Wednesday. I'm happy that we're getting them when we are, because and that we're home. Thank God. But this Bologna game kind of scared me a little bit because they took it to us at home, where they had no business like going up 2-0 in that game, like at home. So I'm a little bit scared that if this game would have been like a boring 0-0 or 1-1 draw, I would have felt a lot better going into this game on Wednesday. But now that this just happened on yesterday, I just, what's the deal with Champions League right now? Because I'm a little bit confused with, do we advance with a tie to the next round, or do we go into that playoff?
They would still be in a playoff spot.
What's the alternative? What if we straight out win on Wednesday?
Then you're putting yourself in a better chance to potentially still try to get top 8, but
yeah.
So you need points. You need points.
You gotta win in order to, I think, qualify. You have to win all three remaining games.
I'm looking at Champions League. I'm looking at Champions League strictly financial. So once I heard about this Club World Cup that we're not gonna get that 50 million that we were supposed to get originally, I kind of want to get the most money we could get out of Champions League.
Yeah.
Let's just see how far we can get, and then like just suck up the money that we can get.
Ooh.
So that's my issue with this going into this Manchester City game. Once the Stuttgart game ended, I kind of was like, oh, that was like the killjoy of Champions League for me this year. I don't know about how you guys feel. Like, that's just how I felt. Like after that Stuttgart game, I was like, we were playing really good up until that point. And then that just like knocked the wind out of our sails, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to get maximum points and just try to get further, strictly financial, so we could be competitive in the off market, like to try to get some players. What do I think strategy wise? I kind of want to see Douglas Luiz, guys. I don't know. Is it just me?
Wow.
I want to see this guy. Even if he just plays like the last 20 or 30 minutes, I really want to see this guy. 60 million, guys. 60 million on this guy. And I got his fucking jersey. Like, let's go. Like, come on. I want to wear his jersey with pride. I want to, like, come on.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not the same player as we all thought that he would come in as. Especially when we got him, and
He
I
has
think that
shown
he's
signs though. Gio, come on.
Yeah, no, he
did
has.
show a couple of little nuggets.
I agree with you. He has the skill. He has the skill to become, I think, a very important player for this Juventus. But is it right now? I don't see it yet. It will come. Like I said, with the same thing with if you talk about Thiago Motta, the same thing, right? Needs time. And remember, going from one league to another, it's very difficult. And we also had a lot of people actually been saying this. Even I saw an interview with a couple players. Saying that it's very hard sometimes to adjust because of the different tactics and also the different play styles of the different leagues. So, and I think that that's also a big factor. And I think Douglas Luiz, and then that minus the injury as well, because the injuries, they don't help at all, but I think that, going into this one, I'm just going to say that we tie. I'm just gonna say that we tie,
I'm gonna say a tie as well, but really quick, just to backtrack a little bit. So do you guys remember the timeline of when we signed him? So it was during the summer, and we were in the Italy was in the Euro Cup, and Brazil was in the what did they play? The Copa America. And right around the time where the rumors were really strong about us getting him, I started paying attention to him because he was starting for Brazil every day. Mm-hmm. And I was like watching him, and he was starting for them every day. And I'm like, we're going to get this guy. Like, I didn't know much about him with Aston Villa. Like, I watched some highlights on him. And I think my mom, like, in the chat, like, messaged and said, like, oh, wow, this guy looks pretty good on YouTube highlights type thing. And then I'm watching him, and he took one of the penalty kicks in their one of their I don't know if Brazil it was a semifinal or I can't remember the game exactly.
I think it was the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinal, and I'm like watching him play in the game, and I'm like, wow, this guy's he's a beast. Like he's so good on the ball, and he's so in control. Like he was like a Pogba type player. Like he's just a creator. He's just very delicate on the ball, very fancy, very good, very aggressive. He's a great, strong power midfielder. And we haven't seen that yet. We saw glimpses of it in the first like 2 or 3 games of this season. And that's my whole issue is where when you get a guy like him, or you get him plus Thuram plus Loca, and how good Loca has been this year, you're like, why aren't we in first place? Why aren't we in first place with Chico on the wing and Yildiz on the wing? We're like, what the hell is going on? Like, we built like, felt a lot better going into the season than we do right now. We don't feel good right now. None of us do. None of the Juventini do. We're all like going down the rabbit hole of Motta out, this guy in, this guy out. I just feel like I need to see it fully yet. And then we can make our assessment on this team. Yeah. Going into this Manchester City game, I feel it's going to be a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw.
Yeah. I think it's probably going to be a 2-2 draw.
Are they healthy? Are they fully? Like, De Bruyne is there? Everybody's in there for them?
I think they have all their players, but like I said, they're not in form. They're not, like I said, De Bruyne is just getting back to, I think, his normal best, which is not a good thing for us. Haaland, he's been scoring. I think the only player that hasn't been as dangerous as before is Foden. But I think
they're
that
all there. They're all healthy.
They're all there. Playing. Yep, but I think that we're gonna control the midfield. I think that Pep Guardiola, if you guys think that, in our home, I don't see it, guys. I think that we're gonna really dominate them. I really think that we are, especially if we start with Thuram, which I am going to go back with you guys with Thuram, because Thuram, I think if he plays in this game, I think he's going to be really, really important. And it's all up to also Locatelli as well. If he could play very quick on the ball and he could do like that nice switch that I think that he's always had a nice switch of the play.
Well, we brought it up earlier, right? Who are you putting on Haaland? Is it Kulu or Gatti?
Gatti, because I think that physical
size-wise.
Because this guy Haaland, all it takes is just that one shove, and this guy Kalulu's on the floor, and I always see Gatti really, and I actually notice is that, whenever he goes up against Italian defenders, he really struggles.
Yeah.
So let's hope that continues.
Let me put it this way. On the prediction, I'd feel a lot better if we had Cambiaso, which we won't.
Oh, yeah, it's a big miss.
I'd feel a lot better about the game if he was going to be there. So
yeah,
that's what's like reluctantly keeping me from saying we could actually take the win here. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be big, especially because, actually, James just pointed out Rodri's out. We know that.
Rodri's out. Okay.
Yeah, Stones as well.
Yeah.
Yep. So, like I said, their weakness is definitely in the midfield. That's where I think if we could close down their midfield and really control the game, I think we have a chance to maybe go and potentially win this game. But I'm just gonna play it safe, just say that we tie 2-2, just saying that, But even though I think that we can win,
I will say this. I am only saying 2-2 only because I think that both back lines are very vulnerable right now.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I would have went 1-1 or a scoreless draw or whatever. But both back lines are so fucked up right now. Like,
yeah,
you don't know what to expect. I'm glad we're home. That'll help.
Should help, but
do they need this game as much as we do? You guys know it better than I do. They need this game just as much.
I think they do because they tied against Feyenoord. They tied against Feyenoord, I think, right? That was the previous game 3-3.
Yeah, I think so. I'd have to check, but
yeah, they tied against them, and I think that they do need to win. I think they're only 2 places above us, so if they win, they should be a little bit closer to that top 8. But what the craziest thing is that all these top teams like PSG, Juventus, if you even look at even Manchester City, Real Madrid, right? We're talking about Real Madrid, the kings of Europe, right? They're struggling, and then they're not even. It looks like that they're going to really struggle to the final, match day, which is going to be crazy to say, especially for Real Madrid because they're the kings of the competition. Even though I don't like them for what they did to us in Cardiff, but just that one really hurts. Everyone really hurts, but
yeah. So both teams are middle of the pack with the same record, so we both have 8 points.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they need
2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. So
man, who would have thought that? That's crazy.
And guys, and for the people that are saying Mota out, we have the same stats as Pep Guardiola over here. So what are we talking about? Come on. And it's just Mota's first year. Imagine what he's going to do in the next couple of years with the, I think, better squad as well, because we have to get people in January. I don't see us winning anything if we don't get anybody, or even competing. I think even for top 4, especially if injuries continue like this, it's going to be difficult. So, like I said, it all depends on that. But I'm just leaning for a tie. I mean, guys, just put in your final predictions, and then we can end it. We can end it live for tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-2. I feel comfortable with that based on what we've all said. We're at home. They're going through as much shit as we are, and both back lines are garbage right now. Yeah. But then again, who would have thought 2-2 against Bologna at home?
True.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said that. I mean, Trim, I watched both the pre's and posts of AJC this week, and I'm like, I forgot who predicted 2-1, who predicted 1-0, I would have never thought 2-2. Who would have thought Inter in that game? Nobody would have. Nobody would have thought that.
No, exactly.
So it's really been a crapshoot this year with everything. It really has been.
Yeah. If I gotta make a prediction, I would say, just again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just so numb to it. I'd have to say 1-0. I think as bad as both defenses are right now in this current moment, it's Champions League. I just feel like yes,
1-0 us.
Yeah, yes. Pep likes to play a little bit more of an offensive style, more open. Mota's Mota.
Let me ask you this, Trim. not to extend this longer.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part this year, Juve has been really good in an open game.
Yep.
Like we've been able to in an open game as opposed to a team that we have to like fight against when they park the bus and they go into that heavy back line or whatever.
Yep.
Manchester's not parking the bus.
No.
They're going to play open,
which
is going to be very similar to the Leipzig game.
But the thing is, the flip side to that is it could also be like the Stuttgart game where we just got pinned back. And that's why
right.
That's why I feel like, yes, I know where you're going with it and I get it, but that's why if I had to make a prediction, we only score goals when we concede. So I feel like it's going to be
that's
a 1-0. Like for me, it's closer to a 1-0 than a 4-3 against Leipzig or a 4-4 draw against Inter. Like, I don't know. That's just the sense I get. Like, I would love to be able to feel confident, say it's going to be 3-2 Juve or like a 2-1 Juve where there's more goals than not. But because Monte's so balanced, I just really feel like he'll try to keep the ball. And that's another thing. Pep and City likes to keep the ball. So it's going to be like the battle of who's going to keep the ball more and what do you eventually do with the ball, right? So it's going to be a fun watch. That's for sure. It's going to be a fun watch. I hope nobody at my work watches this because I'm going to definitely be trying to get out of work. I think
me too. I'll be the same.
Or I'm coming down with a cold, something, 3:00.
Yeah.
I'm out.
That's a sick day in the waiting. Like that.
Yes.
That's like, oh, I'm not feeling too good.
That's right.
No, gotta go. Go.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, but I mean, just to close it off, I just think that with Pep, we all know his style, likes to keep possession, but I just think that this game is a little bit different, especially going up against a Juventus that likes to keep the ball. And not even just that, but I just think that if we have that presence of like a Thuram, with a Locatelli, and then we have Coop as well doing the defensive work. And we have Gatti as well, maybe getting to like a little fight with Haaland. That'll be fun to see as well. But, but no, I just think that it's going to be a good game. I could also say, even see that it could be like a 1-0 win for us. Who knows, right? I mean, it's going to be a tight game for that. I think it's going to be 2-2. Even though, I'm just saying that, but
look, for entertainment purposes, I really hope that the game is wide open.
Yeah.
Just for entertainment purposes, like we're really good in open games. So, and they're obviously great in open games. Like they thrive on that. So,
right.
I would hope that's why I kind of wish that we had our full squad so you could really push that and see like entertaining calcio. Like it would just be fun to watch. I don't know if Motta will say to himself, okay, we're a little bit down, so I have no Cambiaso to put Savona here. I might have to play even a McKennie as a fullback. Like we don't know what he's going to do yet, right?
Mm.
So Savona is not 100%, but he's going to, I'm assuming he's going to be one of the fullbacks.
Yeah.
And he's going to probably go, who's he going to go on the wings? He's going to go Chico and this and then put Coop to be his safe thing, or I don't think he's going to try Yildiz as a 10 against Manchester City.
No. It's
he might wait until the weekend to try. Guys, you guys noticed this yesterday against Bologna? Yildiz was much more in the middle, and Koopmeiners was on the outside most of the game.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So I don't know. Oh, sorry, a box just fell in my garage. But no, I noticed it a lot yesterday that Coop was always on the wing and Yildiz was right up the middle yesterday.
Yeah, they tend to overlap a lot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, to your point, we're not going to see anything new.
No,
against City. Definitely
Wednesday's not the game to try anything.
No,
let's just say that.
No, we have to win. We have to win this in order for us to qualify or have a chance of qualifying in the top 8. We have to win.
Yeah,
there's no excuse for that. We have to win. And like I said, and guys, I think that's all for our final thoughts. I think that should be it, everybody. Reno, sorry for Reno leaving for early. He had to leave. It's okay. Don't worry. We got all the three guys here. We got me, Gio. You got Trib here from the All Juve cast, and you got my guy Severino here. Always helping
Awesome
and
chat,
supporting the
guys.
channel.
Awesome conversation. Very,
Yeah.
very good.
Just quickly wanted to just say, catch us, obviously at the All Juve cast on all the socials. Be sure to like and subscribe, and of course follow Gio at JuveCorner cast if you haven't already. Support us all. We appreciate it. And Gio, my man, thank you for having me. Really appreciate you having me on today.
No problem, Trim. We gotta have to do more. We will do more, and I'm gonna have Berto on with me as well here, and also for you guys invite me on your channel, and it's gonna be awesome because I just can't wait to ask questions to Berto and to you and to other guys as well on the channel. So it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome from this moment forward.
And guys, really quick, just coming from me, I'm just from a subscriber and member like type of thing. I love personally like all my channels like interlocking. Like I love that like the AJC gets in with Ale from his channel and your channel. I love the community type thing, like the connection and the fact that we all can just bullshit and rant and fight and argue and discuss and debate. That's the thing that us as fans, we love that. Like we all love that, and that's the best part of it is that we can all connect and become friends and hopefully next summer all actually meet and do all this and get drunk and stupid and scream at games together and stuff. But no, that's my favorite part of it. Like I've gotten so close with so many of these guys. Like it's insane, and this is just from doing lives like this. So it's a big part of it.
Community, right? So it's nice.
And look at me. I mean, when I started the channel, I didn't even know I was gonna come this far to meeting you guys. You fine gentlemen. So like I said, it's just a big pleasure, to also be in this community and be in the Juventini world, and I just love it. And also, guys in the chat, if you are new, subscribe to my channel. Also subscribe to the All Juve cast, guys, and also subscribe to Reno as he's not here. But
yes,
always
100%.
subscribe, guys, and always follow them because we give you our best content. We do this all the time, so. We always try to make time for you guys because you guys, are our support and we, you guys are actually our motive to do more. So yeah, keep getting more Juventini on the channel, especially we're almost to 530 subscribers, which will be probably tomorrow when this is all done. Awesome. And yeah, Trim, Severino, thank you for joining. And we'll talk in the after show, of course, in the after. Yeah, guys, thank you for watching. And fino alla fine, Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti. Ciao, everybody.